be good for Brandon Young because he has been outstanding. And you see what he's done. Last 40 batters faced, only 4 base hits. Opponents 111 off of that. Love the strikeout to walk ratio too, because that four-seamer is playing real this year. Opponents only hit 125 on the four-seamer this year. They hit 277 on it last year.
It'll be an opener for the Nats. Richard Lovelady followed by Miles Michaelis. O's need to get the bats going early today. Try to turn this thing around after they took 2 or 3 from the Yankees. They'll look to grab the finale in Washington. Sunday baseball is next.
In the U.S.
Starlight.org.
Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. And by the Law Tigers, injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. O's and Nats wearing the Armed Forces caps for the final game of this Armed Forces weekend. Here is the Orioles starting lineup. The Birds at 20-26, managed by Craig Albertaz in his first season. Tyler O'Neill and Samuel Basayo went back-to-back yesterday. O'Neill jumps ahead of Basayo into the cleanup spot today for Albie's Orioles. Colt Kauser gets his second start of the series in the 8th spot. Miles Michaelis will be the bulk pitcher for Washington today, a normal starter, but Richard Lovelady, who got the final out on Friday, will try to get the first few outs on Sunday.
Yeah, speaking of second start, making his second start of his 7-year big league career is Richard Lovelady. Pretty good with the Mets, but boy, he has been outstanding with the Nats this year. With the Nats, 11 appearances, 1 start, the ERA .82. Boy, I tell you what, got a couple of good fastballs, 2 and a 4-seam fastball, but that sweeper is what we saw the other day that seems to be his bread and butter.
So modern baseball, Lovelady gets the save a couple of days ago, and he starts the game today. 10th rounder to Kennesaw State. Could be anywhere from 1 to 2 innings is the expectation. And the Orioles put Taylor Ward at the top of the lineup today. They usually hit Ward leadoff against lefties, and they do so with a left-handed opener, followed by Gunnar Henderson and Pete Alonso.
How about early and often today for the offense? Does that sound good?
Can't say that enough, Ben. Can't say
early
that enough.
and often.
First pitch time 1:35 today for an Oriole team that scored both of its runs in the 9th Friday, all 3 in the 7th yesterday. So they are 0 for the first 6 innings of this series in both games. 81 degrees at first pitch. Feels a little warmer than that. And again, 1:35 on a partly sunny, hazy sort of day, May 17th.
Yeah, raining a little bit when we got here earlier this morning, but it turned off into a really nice day.
Blake Butera, the rookie manager of the Nationals, looking on. Washington is 23-23 as Ward takes an 0-2 pitch out to center field, and it's Jacob Young's area. He makes another fantastic catch, as Young has been a total no-fly zone in center field this series.
He gets going, and we've seen this a couple of plays. He is so fast, he almost overruns balls, and he almost overruns this one. Again, shaded toward right center field, but look how fast he goes. He actually has to reach back behind him to reel it in.
I mean, he looked like he was moving before Taylor Ward even started to swing. Gunnar Henderson takes ball 1.
He does, Kevin. If you'll watch him out in center field, he's almost like an infielder, and he is actually moving either slightly right or slightly left. I noticed that yesterday about him before the ball's even contacted. Like, he's getting a read on the hitter and where the ball is, and he will actually creep one direction or the other depending on where the ball is and where the swing's going to be.
1-1 for Gunnar here, who singled in a run off of Lovelady in the 9th on Friday. Henderson is 2 for 8 in the series, a double, an RBI, and a walk. Struck out twice as well. He barrels this ball to right field, way deep and into the 3rd deck here in D.C. Right down the line, and that is the first home run for Gunnar Henderson since late April. A ringing left-on-left assault, and there is your early offense.
That's how you want to get the party started. Orioles have lost the first 2 games here, and Gunnar Henderson, his 10th long ball of the year, his 23rd RBI, and the Orioles on the scoreboard first here in D.C. I'll tell you folks at home, we brought back the old polos, from several years ago when the Orioles won 101 games, and decided to try them out today, and so far, looking okay.
Looks like ready to do a lot of quick laundry.
Boy, just a hanging sweeper, man. And that's where you don't want to throw a lefty, especially like Gunnar Henderson is. Inside or inner third of the plate, he simply just drops a barrel on it.
Gunnar had not homered in his last 17 games. You have to go back to the Sunday finale against Boston, April the 26th. 17 games and 76 plate appearances since his last home run, but he smashes his team leading 10th. What a great start as Pete Alonso stands in and quickly fell behind 0-2. Pete will take a sweeper low.
Nice balance, gets those hands in tight, and you talk about a no doubter. Look where that thing landed. Upper tank it did.
Not often you get to see a three-decker. What the heck is this? That's a very Gunnar and Adley-esque celebration. Adley Rutschman getting the day off and just doing some weird stuff out there at the dugout. 1-2 for Pete, 2 for 8 in the series. He's doubled, and he takes a four-seamer riding up and away, 2-2. The Orioles tied for 16th in the majors, 4.3 runs per game. They've been held to 3 runs or less in 8 of their last 9. Great start today as Alonso pops up a 2-2 pitch into shallow center field. The second baseman Nunez a long way out there, and Young will call him off for the out. So this is what you think is making the difference.
Well, I texted
don't like
Kevin last
stripes
night
on TV,
and I
but
said, Kevin,
I'll do what I have to do.
I said, I'm desperate. We got to dig deep. And we go back all the way to what, to 2023 with these shirts. These are when they came out. These are the old stripe shirts, and the Orioles won 101 games. So I texted Kevin last night. I said, listen, let's go back to the stripes to change our luck.
The only way in which stripes are permissible on TV is as a rally polo.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. Sometimes it's playoff beards for people. I can't grow a beard.
But neither one of us can, so it's going to have to be polos.
Stripes instead. 0-2 for Tyler O'Neill. O'Neill homered yesterday. He's only hit in the series in 7 at-bats. He has a walk and 2 strikeouts. It was his first home run in 21 career games against the Nationals, and his first home run since the Orioles' 3rd game of the year. Richard Lovelady's 0-2, and that sweeps outside. So Lovelady 15 pitches in the first inning. Miles Michaelis has not begun to warm, at least in this inning. Certainly did some throwing before the game. And Lovelady's fastball's up and away for ball 2. The Nationals, the second worst pitching staff in baseball, have actually pitched very well in this series, allowed just 5 runs in 18 innings. They came into the series of 5.01 ERA. That's dropped to 4.90. Still the second worst, only ahead of Houston. Here's a 2-2 for T.O. He swings and fouls one away. Orioles have had a bit of a home run drought in the month of May. They dropped to 16th in baseball with 46 home runs total into today. Good to see Gunnar getting the home run party started. As O'Neill takes down and out, it was called by Brennan Miller. Orioles hit 34 home runs in April in 26 games. Only 9 home runs coming in 15 games in May. And they've got 4.9 runs a game in April, of 3.5 in May. O'Neill muscles this one out of play. It's still 3-2.
Yeah, the lefties have kind of had their way with Richard Lovelady this year. Lefties came in hitting 345 off of him, which is surprising.
Well, he's gotten out the 2 righties. Giving up a lone ball to the lefty as O'Neill sweeps a breaking ball out of play. Tyler will see a 9th pitch here from Lovelady. Normally you'd love to work the starting pitcher's pitch count in the first. Of course, the starting pitcher is probably only going to go an inning, but still some good at-bats here. But O'Neill can't finish it off as Lovelady gets him on a slider. The Orioles, though, get some early offense. We've been asking for it, Ben.
Well, you asked for it, ye shall receive. And boy, I tell you what, 216 stitches on a baseball right there, folks, and that's covering every one of them. Bird strike first in this one.
Contact Long Fence today.
The Washington Nationals finally made it to 500. They're 23-23, and they now lead the majors at 5.5 runs per game. Home runs and doubles all over this lineup as James Wood starts it off against tall Texan Brandon Young, whose first pitch is a two-seamer knocked out of play. Expect a lot of early count fastballs, Ben, a lot of early count swings as Young and the Nats go head-to-head.
Yeah, the Nationals love to attack early, and why wouldn't you? You look at the first pitch average on balls put in play in Major League Baseball, well over 300, and that's kind of what they do. And Brandon Young has been attacking the upper quadrants of the strike zone with that four-seam fastball.
You're going to face a Nationals lineup with 7 left-handed batters. The only righties are House and Young. 1-1 for James Wood, 2 for 7, a double, a walk, hit by a pitch in the series. And Wood takes a high splitter for strike 2.
Well, that's this pitch for me. I felt like the splitter was probably Brandon Young's best out pitch last year. Matter of fact, he struck out 19 guys on the splitter last year, only 1 so far in 2026. If he gets that one going, it could be really good for him.
And then the slider down and into a lefty. That's a pitch we've seen Brandon Young only throw a couple of times all year.
Well, that's a perfect one right there. Well, this is StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. We'll take a look at Brandon Young's pitch arsenal. 2 to 14 fastball combined, it's about 57% fastballs. Then he gets to the splitter, the slider, and the curveball. But you look at that batting average against on that four-seam fastball, only 125, and that is such a big improvement from last year. Last year, they hit 277 on that four-seam fastball, 125 so far this year.
Well, you look at the slider usage for Young. He had only thrown 3 sliders to lefties the whole season, 1.3%. That's the 5th slider he's thrown in his big league life to a left-handed batter. And maybe, Ben, it's going to look like that Shane Baz cutter to lefties he weaponized on Friday night.
Well, and the Orioles could be pivoting a little bit on how they're starting to attack hitters. We saw Baz for the first time.
Luis Garcia down the line and right. That ball toward the pole is just barely foul into the second deck. Garcia, who loves to hit high fastballs, nearly hit it to tie the game.
Well, 2-0 count, obviously sitting fastball. Boy, he got one. Didn't need the umpire on this one. All you had to look at was the polar bear. The polar bear was calling it foul the entire time. Wasn't fouled by much. Like Kobe Mayo's wasn't fouled by much either yesterday.
2-1 for Garcia, 1 for 7, a strikeout in the series. And the free swinging first baseman socks one through the right side, got a high splitter. So Luis Garcia Jr. is aboard with a 1-out single.
Let's take a look at the Oriole defense, brought to you by Car Shield. Left to right in the outfield, Cowser, Tavares, and O'Neill. Your double play combination, Henderson and Jeremiah Jackson. Kobe Mayo back over at third, the polar bear back at first, and Samuel Basayo behind home plate for the Orioles.
1-on-1 out. Here's Brady House, one of 2 right-handers in the lineup. House knocks the first pitch straight back. 2 for 5 in the series. 0 for 3 Friday. Yesterday doubled and homered off the bench, drove in 3. These Nats now lead the majors with 89 doubles, or 7th in home runs.
10th in triples. I mean, they do it all. You look at total base hits, they're 8th in total base hits. They have the 2nd most extra base hits in baseball, only 1 behind the Yankees.
56 home runs. Blake Patera's Nationals. Matt Borgschulte, the former Orioles co-hitting coach, the hitting coach here in Washington. His first year has done a magnificent job. Here's our Bet365 player prop spotlight. Bet365, where winning is everything. It's over 3.5 strikeouts for Brandon Young, who punched out 5 his last time in 5 1/3 against the Yankees. 0-2. That slider kicks away from Samuel Basayo. It's a wild pitch, though it looked like a ball that Basayo certainly had a chance to block.
There's your dot on the back of the ball. Yeah, he moved to his right. Let's check out the forward lean. Tries to get it, but that ball looked like it hit off his wrist maybe, and when it hit the wrist, instead of hitting the chest protector, it kicked to the left. That's the Orioles' 22nd wild pitch of the season. That is tied for the most in baseball with the Washington Nationals.
So a runner at scoring position as House pops up a lower fastball. Back of first, Alonso searching for that ball, but that's a few rows into the seats. This might be a tough time of the day for pop-ups. Pete looked like he really did not see that ball, and it was about 7 rows into the stands. Here's another 1-2. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts on sliders in his first inning for Brandon Young.
Well, the splitter's been hanging a little bit, but not that slider. If you look at it, there's not a whole lot of right to left in it. It almost is like a bullet spin slider today, like it just has depth in it, just kind of going straight down.
9 of Brandon Young's 21 strikeouts on the slider, most of any pitch. Here's C.J. Abrams with 2 away. And Abrams with a late decision on a first pitch fastball falls in the hole. Abrams had a terrific series, 4 for 9, 2 doubles and an RBI. It's 4th in the National League in on-base percentage, 10th in slugging, and 3rd in RBIs. Wow. And he's laid on another heater at 95.
No, this team can hit. I mean, #1 in baseball now.
Tonight's working on a win presented by the Home Depot. Brandon Young, his last 2 games, 23 of 34 outs have come on fastballs. Today, both outs on sliders. Here's the 0-2. Another fastball. Abrams pops it up. Jeremiah Jackson. It's a pretty impressive first inning for Brandon Young. A couple of strikeouts and a pop out against the dangerous Abrams. O's by 1 after 1.
Real fast.
Our Maryland Lottery Fast Play contestant of the game, Joseph McLaughlin from East Earl, Pennsylvania. $500 for being selected. We'll win $500 more for every Orioles home run and $5,000 for each O's grand slam hit today. Learn how to be the Fast Play contestant of the game at mdlottery.com/home run. Still Richard Lovelady, the Nationals opener, continues on in the second inning to face Samuel Basayo. And Lovelady throws the slider up near his elbow guard. It's Basayo, Taveras, and Mayo, lefty switch hitter righty. Miles Michaelis, the Nationals' usual starter, he'll be the bulk pitcher today, is in the bullpen. But it's Lovelady for at least one more batter to get a lefty-lefty matchup with Basayo. Basayo on a 9-game hit streak, tied for the longest of any Oriole this season. And he takes a 2-seamer for a strike.
Boy, Big Sam's got 3 good looks right there.
He swings and rips this one through the right side. He got a 4th good look, and Basayo has a leadoff single. Now a season long for any Oriole, a 10-game hit streak.
So patient, and that's what he wanted to do. You could tell he wasn't going to offer it the first pitch. He just wanted to see it, timed up the second one and the third one, and then finally a base hit.
Our Xfinity Power Connection, Samuel Basayo. This was coming into that at-bat since April 20th. 391 average, 1,085 OPS. Those are major league ranks. Top 5 in slugging average and OPS in that span. Look, there are so many great rookies in baseball this season. Kevin McGonigal right from the jump got a ton of press. Munetaka Murakami's been bashing home runs for the White Sox. It looks like an amazing rookie crop. Don't forget about Basayo in there, who is not a true first-year rookie. Played the last month or so of the season last year. But at 21 years old is as young as almost anybody in the bunch. Leody Taveras knocks one out to center field, and Jacob Young has the first out of the inning.
Well, this series has featured to me two of the best young left-handed hitters in the game. You talk about James Wood out in right field. You talk about Samuel Basallo now standing at first base. And those two guys, you're going to call their names out probably for the next 10 or 12 years because they're going to be difference makers.
So Lovelady allows the single and gets a flat, and now with the right-hander Kobe Mayo coming up, the Nats will turn to Miles Mikolas after 4 outs from Richard Lovelady. Orioles tagged him for a run, got another hit, and they'll try to solve the veteran Mikolas when we return to DC.
From the Maryland Lottery.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Miles Mikolas gets a lift from the bullpen cart.
You gonna ride that thing in and not jog? You better be good.
Ball 1 to Kobe Mayo. We'll find out just how good he is. Mikolas with an ERA an even 7 this year. 6 starts, now his 4th relief outing. He got crushed his 2nd start of the year, gave up 11 to the Dodgers.
Yeah, but his last time out was his best of the year. That was against the Twins. He ended up going 5 1/3.
That's a foul ball just wide of the bag off the bat of Mayo, and it was a little hit and run there with Basallo at first and Mayo batting.
I like it.
Or was it? Craig Alvarez was throwing his arms up. I'm not sure if he's throwing his arms up at the fair foul call from Chris Conroy down to third.
Bad thing. Close again. Yeah, Mikolas' last time out was against the Twins. 5 1/3, only 2 earned runs, didn't walk a batter, struck out 3.
Well, this tells you, Ben, I think, what the Orioles believe about Miles Mikolas and his inability to miss bats. A hit and run with Samuel Basallo and Kobe Mayo is probably one of the least likely combinations with which to do it on this Oriole roster, although Kobe's had a very nice week. 1 and 2 for Mayo now. You've been calling for maybe a little hit and run here and there for the Orioles. That is not the duo you'd expect it to happen.
But maybe you catch them by surprise.
Yeah. And it's just another tool in the toolbox. Craig Alvarez has talked about wanting to have a diverse offense.
Well, listen, here's the thing. When your offense is struggling, and clearly the Oriole offense is struggling. I mean, 24 runs in their last 8 games. That's 3 runs per game. That's down towards the bottom in that span. So every now and then you got to try to manufacture runs.
Mayo to the left side and foul again. Another blistered ball off the bat of Kobe, who's reached base 9 of 18 plate appearances in his last 5 games.
I mean, while you're waiting for the offense to get going, I'm okay with a few more sack bunts. I'm okay with a hit and run every now and then. I'm okay with those things while you're waiting for this offense to get going.
Breaking ball just clipped foul by Kobe. Kobe Mayo this season still looking for an opposite field hit, one of the highest pulled air rates in baseball. 17 of his 21 hits to the pull side, 4 up the middle. And we've seen some loud foul balls pulled here.
Well, and that's why they want to pitch him away. They want to pitch him away with off-speed stuff because sometimes he has trouble staying on the ball on the outside part of the plate. Now, you get it in there and in the middle part of the plate, it's going to get barreled. But when you get it to the outer part of the plate, that's where Kobe struggles from time to time, staying on the ball and staying through the ball. Because he's got some quick hands. He showed that early in the year, and it didn't take long to get around the league. Don't play with him a whole lot on the inside part of the plate, not for strikes.
Big looping breaking ball. Mayo cracks it to deep left field and foul again. That was another very loud foul ball. There have been a lot of those from Kobe in this series. Does have a couple of hits as well. The Miles Mikolas curveball is a very hittable pitch. The league is 7 for 14 off that ball, which a lot of hitters can pick up well out of the hand. Follows it up with a changeup, and it's 2-2. So Mikolas already in a stressful situation. His first outing, or his 4th outing out of the bullpen this year, the first batter he faces is going to see at least 9 pitches.
Michaelis has not given a whole lot of length. Matter of fact, in his 8 appearances so far this year, he's only averaged 4 innings per outing.
Mayo with a high fly ball to deep left field. He straightened it out this time. Kobe Mayo with a 2-run jack.
Well, we just got through saying you're going to play on the inside part of the play with Kobe Mayo. He's going to find the barrel. And boy, did he ever find the barrel on that one. Home run number 5 by Mayo. 113 off the bat it went. 407 feet. Hey, don't watch the stripe at church, KB. We might be wearing a mark. Yeah, that's where you don't want to play with Kobe Mayo. Right on the inside part of the plate.
No bat flip today, just a little bat drop. Remember yesterday he flipped the bat on a long foul ball. Colton Cowser on the first pitch, sizzles one the other way to left, but that'll hang up for Dalen Lyle. Well, it feels like every time Kobe Mayo has touched the ball this week, it's come off his bat at some extreme velocity. Some loud foul balls we've talked about, but also game-winning home run against the Yankees. He had the hardest hit ball for an Oriole in a long time with a single 2 days ago, and this home run, Ben, is another really impressive swing in a really impressive week.
Yeah, Kobe, like a lot of the Orioles and like a lot of players at the big league level, you know, your first couple of years, man, it can be a struggle. When you're learning at the big league level, it is very difficult to do.
Jeremiah Jackson sucked up at short by C.J. Abrams. That'll end the inning. 2 quick outs after a ball got out of here quickly from Kobe Mayo. A 2-run homer and a 3-0 Birds lead.
Toyota, let's go places.
You can stream Massive Plus on iOS and Android mobile devices, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Massive Plus monthly subscriptions are available for only $19.99 a month. Go to MassivSports.com or scan the QR code to get yours today. Kobe Mayo gives the Orioles a 3-0 lead, his 5th home run of the year. Continues his grand week. And Brandon Young's got a 3-0 lead as he throws a fastball past Dalen Lyle.
Well, that's where you want to attack Lyle. Upper quadrants of the strike zone. He is really good on the lower quadrant. Both in the middle, middle in, and middle away is where he makes his money. But if you get it elevated just a little bit, you can get him out.
And Lyle grounds out sharply to second here. Talking to Brandon yesterday, his fastball, we've noted, has been a very good pitch this year. He said he's actually not thrilled with his fastball command, though. He'd like to be a little bit lower. He thinks it's maybe a little bit too high off and out of the zone. And he'd like to control it maybe a little bit more away. Glove side fastball away to lefties. Young to Young here. Jacob to Brandon. That's a 2-seamer up and in. In one sense, you go, well, Brandon Young's fastball is very good this year. On the other, it's good to know he's continuing to strive to make improvements in what's been a much better second year. A lot of quick outs, early count outs, and though the strikeout numbers aren't overwhelming, he's a pitcher who's just throwing and going about his days with much more confidence. Young takes the slider a little wide. It's 3-0.
No, look, and he's growing up too, KB. If you think about it, I mean, a lot of young pitchers, remember 2 starts ago against the Marlins, he gives up 3 in the first inning. And for a lot of young pitchers, that's hard to overcome, a 3 spot in the first inning. And then he settled down. It was 5 shutout after that. And then against the Yankees, he gives up a 2-run homer to Ben Rice in the 3rd inning. And then he retired 9 of the final 11 batters that he's faced. So he's been able to minimize damage, and he's been able to kind of bounce back after a rough outing or a rough inning.
Jacob muscles a fly ball to deep left field, and that will go. What has gotten into Jacob Young? Just 2 home runs a season ago. He's homered in back-to-back games, and he now has a career-high 4 in his 4th big league year, making 5 for Jacob Young. who puts the Nationals on the board.
Well, I think you could say that about pretty much this entire offense. I mean, come in #1 in baseball. Matter of fact, KB, they're on pace. If it stays the way it is right now, it would be a franchise record for runs per game for the Nationals at 5.5. When they won the World Series in 2019, they had their best offense, and it was 5.4 runs per game that year.
Jacob Young had 5 home runs in the first 303 games of his career over 3 years. He has 5 in 45 games this year. There's a breaking ball strike to Jose Tena. '57 home runs for Washington. Yesterday, their 6th game of double-digit runs. And a line drive carved to center by Tena here. Taveras retreating and makes the catch. Hit a splitter pretty well. Good swings by the Nats in this inning. A run in and 2 out for Keibert Ruiz.
Still working on that splitter. He's trying to get the same action with it that he had last year. Last year it kind of went a little left to right, but it had a lot of gravity in it, had a lot of down in it. This year it just kind of feels like it's floating in there.
Ruiz had a career best 5 RBIs yesterday.
I like that. To me, that's going to be his best pitch, because if he continues to pound the strike zone in the upper part, it comes out of that same window does that breaking ball. He got a lot of success with those 2 pitches.
That was the winning combination in Miami. The fastball curveball combo for Young. Undrafted out of Louisiana, 2020. There, splitter a little bit low to Ruiz. Doubled and homered. Now .328 career against the Orioles. He doesn't walk much. I mean, he's got a .244 on base percentage, but his slugging is up to .471. 13 of his 20 hits extra bases. Could be another here. That ball lands fair right inside the line. O'Neill plays it off the sidewalk, bobbled it, and that enables Ruiz to get in without a throw to second. So it's another extra base hit, the 4th of the series for Keibert Ruiz.
10th double of the season for him. That's the 90th double of the year for the Nationals. #1 in baseball.
Everything in this inning has been touched up. And here's Nasim Nunez in the 9th spot. Nunez swings to the first pitch, grounds it over to second base, and he is retired. Nats get one back on the Jacob Young homer. It's an early slugfest in D.C.
Visit youhavealawyer.com.
1 week from tomorrow, Memorial Day at the Park. Day game at 1:35. The Orioles Rays. 20,000 fans take home a Maryland replica jersey presented by MDOT's Work Zone Safety Campaign. Get your tickets right now at Orioles.com/tickets. In the 3rd inning we go. The Orioles lead the Nationals 3-1. Home runs from Gunnar Henderson and Kobe Mayo, answered by a Jacob Young home run for Washington. Miles Michaelis gave up the home run to Mayo, the first batter he faced, then got the next 2 outs. 12 pitches in 2/3 of an inning to start his day as the follower after Richard Lovelady went an inning and a third, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and a strikeout.
Miles Michaelis, a 2-time All-Star. Both times was with St. Louis back in 18 and 2022.
Swing and a miss by Ward there. Michaelis has obviously fallen off considerably from then. The 7 ERA coming in. He has been in the big league since 2012, though not consecutively. He went to Japan 2015, 16, and 17. Missed 2020 with an injury, but it's his 11th big league season overall. 6th in National League Cy Young voting with the Cardinals in 2018.
That 2018 season for him was pretty special. When 18, matter of fact, he went 18-4 with a 2.8 ERA. 32 starts, 200 innings pitched.
2-2 for Ward, who lined out to center against Lovelady. You know what's amazing about that 2018 year? Michaelis led the National League in hits allowed at 186, but he still led in wins with 18 because he threw 200 and 2/3 innings. He only walked 29. He had the best walk per 9 rate in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, not a big strikeout guy. Even that year, 146 strikeouts at 200 innings pitched. So not always been a big strikeout guy.
Usually not a big walk guy either, but he puts on Ward, Major League leader in walks with his 44th. And he has nearly a quarter of the Orioles' total walks this season. The highest percentage of a team's total walks for the Orioles was Ken Singleton back in 1975 with 20%. The Orioles are 5th in walk rate. It's largely due to Taylor Ward. He's aboard for Gunnar Henderson, who takes a slider away. Here's the home run from the first inning. The location, Ben, where he struggled a bit this year.
Yeah. But, you know, lefty on lefty, and you see it just at the top of the blue zone, but right at the bottom of the red zone. Most lefties, when you face a lefty, the hitter tends to bail a little bit. So as a left-handed pitcher, you want to get the ball to the outside part of the plate because they open up. Most lefty hitters do. And when you leave it middle and middle in, it gives a left-handed hitter his best chance of putting a barrel on it.
2-0 for Gunnar here. He snapped a 76 plate appearance drought without a home run. Why do you think he's been a much better high ball hitter than down and in? For a powerful lefty, it's a little unusual.
Yeah, but you got to get it to that very bottom. If you leave it kind of where that pitch was, he's going to hit it hard. But when Gunnar was hitting a lot of home runs, you know, a couple of years ago, he was covering that breaking ball from the right-handers that kind of got in on that inner third of him.
Takes a 3-0 two-seamer here. See the wheels turning in Gunnar's head as he thought about a 3-0 swing. Dangerous situation for Michaelis here with Pete Alonso on deck. And Henderson wraps a ground ball up the box and through the middle. Ward will turn second on his third. Michaelis was open for a ground ball, but that was sharply hit and centrally located. And Gunnar's 2 for 2 in the first 3 innings.
I love where he hit that ball too. And that's, for me, that's where Gunnar needs to stay, right there, right back up the box with it. Think gap to gap, and boy, that is well done. Hits the front of the mound and kicks up, but still gets by the middle infielder. So a first and third and no out situation for the Orioles as they look to add on.
2 very well struck balls by Gunnar today. Home run and a single. His second 2-hit game of this series. So maybe things are starting to turn for Henderson. And now Pete Alonso will try to turn in another run at least. He takes a two-seamer high. Michaelis has been behind all 3 hitters in the inning. Same spot to Pete. Alonso 28 home runs against Washington, his most against any team except for Miami.
Boy, Gunnar's got to be thinking about it. Michaelis does a pretty good job, though. If you'll watch him, he's a big guy. 6'4", 230, but he will slide step on you. Doesn't have a big high leg kick.
Let's see if Pete has a green light on 3-0. 4 for 20 career against Michaelis. Has not homered off of him. And he takes a strike.
Or was it?
A little generous by Brennan Miller. Should have been ball 4. Alonso neglected the challenge with the count still in his favor. 3-1. Orioles leading 3-2-1. Michaelis lobs one over at Henderson. First and third, there goes Gunnar. Pete muscles the ball to right field. James Wood tracks it up. And Ward will jog in from third, so give Pete Alonso a sacrifice fly, his 24th RBI of the year, tied for second on the team. And the Orioles have scored in each of the first 3 innings as they lead 4-1.
10th sacrifice fly of the year for the Orioles. Well done by Pete Alonso.
Pete's first ribby of the series. And it's 1-on, 1 out for Tyler O'Neill. Four consecutive first pitch balls now from Miles Michaelis. O'Neill struck out at the end of a 9-pitch at bat with Richard Lovelady in the first. Concerned with Gunnar Henderson, and that's 2 throws over. So if Michaelis throws over again, they'll have to get Gunnar, or else he would commit a balk.
Let's see how aggressive Gunnar's going to be. Pretty good sized lead right there. That is above average.
O'Neill pops it up. House down from third makes the catch. That's the second out. It will reset that disengagement counter for Michaelis against Gunnar. 1 in, 1 on, and 2 out now for Samuel Basallo,
who singled his first at bat.
Well, part of the hope with an opener is that a higher leverage pitcher, maybe out of the bullpen, Lovelady, better pitcher and a batter-to-batter basis, can get the top of the order and limit the damage that the big hitters can do. So Michaelis is seeing Basallo for the first time. He's seen the first 7 Orioles. Henderson gets a running start. He was off and he is into second.
Well, it worked out anyway, didn't it? Gunnar had a little bit of happy feet on that one. Because if Michaelis would have disengaged the rubber right there, he would just simply turned and thrown Gunnar Henderson out at second base. But he didn't disengage. He went right over to first base, and Gunnar Henderson had what, about 7 hard steps. And once you're hung out like that, you got one choice. You try to get to second base as fast as you can, and Gunnar Henderson does it, picks up another stolen base. So that's his 6th of the year.
Laughing in the face of danger as Basallo cues the next one to the mound, and Michaelis throws him out. So Gunnar stranded at second, but his single helped bring in the game's 4th run for the Orioles. Tuesday, May 26th, celebrate Jewish Heritage Night at Oriole Park as the O's host the Tampa Bay Rays. Fans who purchase the special ticket package will receive an exclusive Orioles Jewish Heritage Night jersey. Buy yours now at Orioles.com/ticket packages. Orioles with 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. They lead Washington 4-1.
Well, we were hoping for early and often, and it's been both of those so far from this Oriole offense.
Yeah, lowest scoring teams in the first 3 innings in baseball. Most of their damage comes in the middle innings, but early and often today as Brandon Young will face this Nats lineup for a second time. Ball 1 to James Wood, who crushes, absolutely crushes right-handed fastballs this year. 365 slugging, 827. And Young throws him back-to-back breaking balls. He's only thrown James Wood 1 fastball in 6 pitches, and he struck him out on a slider his first time. 2-0 for the 23-year-old Wood. That's a splitter.
Took a little off on a 2-0 count.
Now here are Wood's home runs against righties, and that's not where you want to be against James Wood.
How about the one, though, not even in the strike zone, man? You talk about pull your hands in, huh?
So he's a better hitter down in the zone. You can get him out up in the zone. If you're going to throw him fastballs, they usually need to be around the belt. Curveball, splitter, slider here, and another curveball. So he didn't get a single fastball. And Wood is the first Washington walker. Here's Luis Garcia, a player who almost planted a fastball off the foul pole. Garcia 274 now after that hit. Just a 303 on base. Very, very good contact hitter. Gets buzzed up and in. It's an interesting number 2 hitter because he swings so often. He chases everything. He makes contact with almost everything too. And that's like having a little separation though between Wood and Abrams. They're big power bats, guys who also will strike out some. And a breaking ball. Garcia misses that one. It's 1-1.
Yeah, it is aggressive and a young a team as the Nationals have. They still don't strike out a whole lot. I mean, kind of middle of the pack in walks, 14th overall, but 13th most strikeouts.
Not a lot of deep counts typically. You see the 4th fewest pitches per plate appearance in baseball. And on the 3rd pitch here, Garcia pops up on a curve. So we've seen 1 fastball out of the 8 pitches in this inning. You expect that to be the 2nd time through adjustment for Brandon Young?
Could be.
Maybe just the personnel he's facing this inning.
I think it may be more about the scouting report. Look, he came in with the 4-seam fastball. Opponent's hitting 125 on that pitch. I'll take that every day of the week. Now, he wants to locate it. He's got to get it to the upper quadrant of the strike zone.
Ball 1 wide to Brady House. Another non-fastball goes with a slider.
That's always the biggest decision for a pitcher. Do I pitch to my strengths or do I try to pitch to the hitter's weakness?
House tags a fly ball to left field here off the end of the bat. Colton Cowser gets to it. House is 0 for 2.
And that's always a decision to make. My strengths or hitter's weaknesses.
How'd you measure that before or during a start?
Always tried to pitch to my strengths because I felt like we've always talked about this. I don't question the pitch selection as much as I question pitch location. If I'm gonna pitch to my strength, it could be the hitter's strength. But if I get the ball where I need to get it, there's a very good chance I'm gonna collect an out on that pitch.
Were there times where you would change your mindset though? Or are there times where you would say, I'd rather pitch to hitters' weaknesses in this pocket or in this game than my strengths?
On the days that you have all your stuff working, on those particular days, yeah. I might pitch because those are the days that I can do just about whatever I want to do. The command was good. The breaking ball was good. Splitter was good. I could pretty much do whatever I wanted to do.
There's a high fastball. Abrams seen a lot of those. And Basayo stumbles into the 3rd out.
Come on now, big fella.
Might have just set off an earthquake here in the Capitol with that landing.
You know that ball is going to spin back into field of play. Big Sam kind of overruns this, but he is one heck of an athlete. Watch him back up, and lay out and catch it, big fella.
You're ready to live.
The 4th inning of Orioles baseball is brought to you by Central Atlantic Toyota dealers. Shop Toyota for legendary style and reliability. And check out the all-new RAV4 at Toyota.com. Kobe Jack in the 2nd inning. 5th home run for Kobe Mayo, and Leody Taveras is going to set him up with a runner on base. Taveras hustling all the way. He's going to turn that routine little ground ball into 2. A sharp shot for Taveras, a hustle double. What a series he's having. 3 for 6 now. The double and a walk.
Look at that, 110 off the bat, 2 on a ground ball. You talk about get through the infield quickly to him. Well, he got out of the box and you can see he get out toward left center field. He thought one thing, I got to find a way to get to second base because Jacob Young, the center fielder for the Nationals, he was shaded slightly toward right center.
6 double for Taveras, who's bounced back after a little bit of a slow stretch to continue his wonderful year. Miles Michaelis now to Mayo. And he buries a slider to Kobe. First batter Michaelis faced out of the bullpen. And Mayo hit a 402-foot home run off him deep into the left field seats.
I bet he won't get another 2-seam fastball over the plate. especially on the inner third. If he does, it's going to be a mistake, and it could go a long way too.
Four-seamer at 90.
Well, you can see Michaels' fastball. They're starting to run back is what they're doing. Escabert Ruiz had set up on the outside part of the plate. That ball just kind of gently worked back towards the barrel.
High breaking ball here, slammed to third and caught on a line by House. Another really good swing for Kobe, but right into the glove of the Nats third baseman.
Kobe is putting barrel on ball today because he's getting the balls in the wheelhouse that he likes. Middle to middle in.
We've had that exit velocity drop quite a bit today, and the Orioles are putting up the runs to go with it. Not much exit velocity here by Cowser. What is this?
Did he call him out?
That's called a fair ball by Brendan Miller, or is it? Now he's waving his hands. So I looked like he was pointing to Colton Cowser and calling him out, but the third base umpire Chris Conroy may have overruled him here. This can be a tougher play for the home plate umpire, obviously, who's blocked. But that's clearly Chris Conroy had the right angle of that, which spun back behind the plate.
It hit the plate and then backed up.
Greg Alvarez is laughing here as his old friend Blake Butera gets an explanation. Not a reviewable play, and not one you need to review. Greg Alvarez the other day sitting down with Blake Butera, and Alexa Datt, Nationals reporter, was giving Butera a little guff for not having been ejected yet. I don't think Blake came terribly close there, but Albie had a good laugh at his former player and former coach along the way. Those two tied together in the Rays system.
Butera is so young, he could break. If he manages for a long time, he could break Bobby Cox's record for most ejections for a manager as young as. Boy, is this one belted.
Cowser with a drive to right field, and there it is. Colton Cowser finally gets that elephant off his back. His first home run in 111 plate appearances, and it was a sizzler.
My goodness. Did this one leave the yard quickly? How about 113, folks? That is getting after it right there. Colton Cowser's first long ball, his 9th RBI. The Orioles have hit 3 home runs today and now lead 6-1. And that was on a breaking ball, wasn't it?
His first hit off a breaking ball all year, in fact.
Fixing to say.
Silent treatment from the dugout right now for Colton?
Sure.
Oh, he just stopped at the steps here. Now he's going to get some love.
I don't think he even cares.
He didn't want to go through. Look at this. Here comes the wave.
He is just glad he finally hit one out of the ballpark.
Jeremiah Jackson into left field. That ball right at Dalen Lyle. I don't know. Maybe Colton was just too ashamed to go through the tunnel. He shouldn't be ashamed after this swing.
Boy, how good was that, man? Just watch him lean back. Watch the head go down and see the ball. And right to the barrel it went. That is nice. And what makes it even nicer, it was an all-speed pitch. He wasn't out in front. He wasn't fooled. He recognized the spin. He set back and put a barrel on it.
What? His 92nd plate appearance of this season. Swing and a miss by Taylor Ward, 0-2. Last home run September 23rd against the Rays. A long overdue feeling for the former Rookie of the Year runner-up Colton Cowser.
Well, that's where Michaels had struggled this year. I mean, he came in, he'd allowed 9 home runs in just 32 2/3, giving up 2 so far today. Two-seamer
will be called strike 3 to Taylor Ward. That was not even close to strike zone, but he didn't challenge. The Orioles, though, get 2 more thanks to CC.
Lean back on one, Mr. Milkman, and boy, did he tattoo that one. A little love in the dugout after the silent treatment. Birds up by 5, going to the bottom of the 4th.
Borrowed.
Star Wars weekend coming to Camden Yards in a couple of weekends. Friday, May 29th, Star Wars fireworks presented by SeatGeek. Saturday, May 30th, the Jordan Westbrook Star Wars bobblehead presented by PNC. And Sunday, the 31st, Star Wars kids poster. An epic galactic weekend at Camden Yards as the O's will play the Blue Jays. Get your tickets at Orioles.com/tickets. Noted Star Wars aficionado, Lego aficionado, Colton Cowser. First home run of the year. Orioles have scored in each of the first 4 innings today, and they lead the Nationals 6-1. We've been talking about the slow offense. Been 3 runs or less for the O's in 8 of their last 9 games. How good this must feel for Baltimore to jump out fast and early. As Dalen Lyle bashes a ground ball through the right side.
Yeah, got to feel good. Anytime you get out early, man, it just gives the offense a lot of confidence. And it gives your pitcher a lot of confidence to go pitch with a lead, too. Because, I mean, you think about it for starting pitchers. I mean, when you know your offense isn't scoring runs, or if they are going to score runs, it's going to be the later part of the ball game. You know every pitch that comes out of your hand, it means the ball game in a lot of ways. So it is nice to get early run support.
Jacob Young has the Nationals' only RBI. He homered off of Brandon Young. No relation as far as we know. Strike with a slider. This is probably a similar feeling for Brandon Young to his second start of the year. April 25th against Boston. April 24th when the Orioles scored in each of the first 5 innings. Young just threw strikes, only walked 1 5 2/3. Did give up 7 hits and 3 runs, but pitched accordingly to the lead. Pitch count in pretty good shape right now, 47 here. 1 batter into the 4th inning. Here's a 1-2. I'll say 10 next for the Nats, who have 4 hits and a walk in the game, have left a runner in each of the first 3 innings. Two from Brandon to Jacob. Up and away with a 2-seamer.
Boy, a big pitch right here.
First to go on Lyle. Jacob hit a 3-1 fastball out to left field his first time. Defensive wizard who's added some surprising powers. Young just threw on Lyle again. It'll be a 3-2 from Brandon Young to Jacob Young. 50th pitch for BY today. Lyle's on the run, and that ball's off the plate. Now, this is not the way Brandon Young wanted to start.
No. After
a 2-run home run by Cowser in the top of the inning. Not against a Nats team that had a 7-run inning yesterday and put up 13.
They can score in a hurry.
Jose Tena swings and misses at an elevated 4-seamer. 0-1.
The Nats have been hitting the long ball lately too, man. That's 20 home runs now in their last 11 games. Tena
lined out hard to center on a splitter his first time. And Young zooms the hitter way up out of the zone here. Say 10, a 25-year-old in his 4th big league season. He's a part-time player with the Nats last year. This has been his best big league season, getting on base more, hitting for more power than ever. Curveball's just off the corner. It's 2-1. Traded to the Nats with a couple of minor leaguers for Lane Thomas 2 years ago at the deadline. Thomas went to Cleveland, where he had a memorable grand slam off Derek Skubal for Craig Albarnez and the Guardians in the postseason. That's up and away. 3-1 now. One more of those and Brandon Young would load the bases. Barrett Ruiz, who will not be hitting right-handed, is on deck, is swinging that way. 2 on, nobody out. Here's a big 3-1. That's ball 4. Nationals load the bases on a hit and 2 walks.
Yeah, Drew Frentz, Oriole pitching coach, quickly out of that dugout. Look at that. 9 balls, only 5 strikes in this inning, and mechanically he's gotten a little out of whack. Brandon Young, 6'6". And if you watch his front shoulder, KB, he's opening up. He's getting east to west for me. And when you start to open up a little bit too quickly, you normally leave the ball on the arm side. And that's kind of where his misses have been this inning.
Well, nobody's in the bullpen yet. Only 55 pitches in, but this feels like a don't mess around game. Given the 2 losses in a row, given you have maybe your top 4 pitchers all between 3 and 5 days rest, and just given the way this series has gone and given the Nats offense, you put all those factors in, it might not be a long leash for Brandon Young today. Can he get himself out of trouble and minimize this damage? Barrett Ruiz with a 3-run homer yesterday. First pitch swinging on a ball near his knuckles.
Thank you very much. That's the Nats, man. They love to attack early.
That looked like a ball that Brandon Young could have thrown anywhere within the District of Columbia and gotten a swing. Free swinging Ruiz swings at another fastball closer to the zone here, and it's 0-2.
All right, 2 fastballs up. I'd love to see that curveball down here, down below the bottom of the zone. Big Sammy's got to be big behind home plate, because if you throw the curveball where you want it, it's going to bounce.
A fastball again instead. Ruiz in the 4th year of an 8-year, $50 million extension. 27-year-old catcher. 7th big league year already. Free swinger, great power. Will take his time. And now the Orioles get the bullpen up. So it didn't take long. Anthony Nunez, 58 pitches into the game, is just starting to softly toss. Craig Albarnez will not mess around today. Ruiz golfs one to right. It's hooking, and it hooked.
My goodness. Was that the splitter again? Slider?
Once again, a slider to a lefty.
I don't. Maybe he just doesn't have a feel for his curveball today, because I felt like he had him set up. 3 elevated fastballs. Normally the curveball behind him, but went to the slider instead.
There's the curveball swatted into right center. Taveras takes charge. Lyle tags from 3rd. Throw is cut off by Alonso. So he does ultimately go to that curveball. Didn't hit it very well. It is a sacrifice fly, though, and it's 6-2.
Yeah, it's about minimizing the damage now. And if all he gives up in one in this inning, it would be a big-time effort for Brandon Young.
So with Anthony Nunez warming, the seam Nunez stands in. And again, I know it's only 60 pitches, But the result of this at-bat may dictate whether Brandon Young gets to face James Wood for a third time. Nunez a ground out to second on the first pitch, and he's first pitch hacking again.
Yeah, you want to win a ball game today. You got a real chance of winning, obviously, now. But man, do you want to crush your bullpen going to Tampa tomorrow? So Albie's got a lot to think about here.
Orioles did make one bullpen move. They sent Josh Walker, who had pitched the last 2 days, back to Norfolk and called up right-hander Cameron Foster. Trevor Rogers is going tomorrow. He's had a bunch of short starts in a row. 1-1 to Nasim Nunez, one for his last 18. Nunez laid on another heater. So is this again a curveball spot, or given how late he is on the fastball, do you go back there?
I think you throw the curveball here, but I like it for a ball, not a strike. But you never know what a pitcher has, and maybe he just doesn't have the confidence to consistently throw that breaking ball of his. Maybe he feels more comfortable with other stuff.
97 there from Brandon Young, his hardest pitch of the day. One of the hardest we've seen him throw in the big leagues. Nunez, the stolen base king of the major leagues. Will rip another fastball out of play.
He had a better swing at that one, too.
Batting average of just 195.
Gosh, if he has any confidence in the breaking ball now, I like it.
Well, we're about to find out. Oh, he threw him a splitter. At the top of the zone, Nunez is frozen for out number 2.
I'm not sure that's where he wanted it, but boy, did it ever work, too. And he front doored it, too. You can see where it started. It started on the inside part of the plate. There's a really good look. See how that ball comes back left to right? So it was a ball out of the hand. He just creeped it right back over the inner third, and a huge strikeout for Brandon Young.
And now he will stay in the game to face James Wood for a third time. Wood has struck out and walked. There's the breaking ball that it tips out of the zone. Maybe Craig Albertaz will be asked after the game. I doubt it. Would he have gone to Nunez if Nasim Nunez had reached and Wood was the tying run? He will not go to him here. Try to get Brandon Young through the tricky fourth. And a low fastball is a strike to James Wood. That's usually the danger zone against James. It's only the second fastball he's seen today.
Wood was not expecting that because he had a steady diet of all-speed pitches when he walked in the third inning.
Will Brandon Young double up? No, back to the slider. In fact, that was the first four-seamer. He had thrown him a two-seamer to start off the game. Craig Albertaz is on the phone here. Not Drew French. Usually the pitching coach talks to the bullpen. This will be the 29th pitch of the inning for Brandon Young. A run has scored. 2 on and 2 out. Wood with a ground ball up the middle. Henderson will have no play. Too softly hit to do anything. And the Nationals load the bases for Luis Garcia Jr. And Craig Albertaz is coming out.
Just a ball that nobody was going to get to in time.
This is truly aggressive managing. Not worrying about Tampa Bay tomorrow, just worrying about getting a win today. And Anthony Nunez will enter for the first time prior to the 6th inning. He comes in with the bases full.
Craig Albertaz wasting no time going to his bullpen early in this one. Brandon Young goes 3 2/3, leaves the bases loaded. Now it's time for Anthony Nunez, making his 20th appearance of the year. They've all been out of the bullpen. Opponents hitting .221 off the right-hander Nunez. Good fastball. Y'all have seen it, 96 miles an hour. It will average that sweeper, changeup, and an occasional cutter.
Luis Garcia Jr., who singled and popped out, is the tying run with 2 outs. Garcia swings and misses. There's that kick change. Ben, this is a bold move by Craig Albertaz. What do you make of the decision to go to Nunez?
Well, this is what you call pushing all your chips in and trying to win a ball game today. It's almost what you see in playoff baseball, where you go to the pen early.
Anthony Nunez had not thrown earlier than the 6th in his rookie year. He comes on to try to get the Orioles out of the 4th. Ground ball off of the mask of Basayo there. It's 1-2 as Sammy's a little shaken up. One thing Craig Albertaz has in his favor, Anthony Nunez is on 5 days rest, as is Rico Garcia. Tyler Wells, who can certainly give you 2 innings, is on 4 days rest. Yenya Cano, 3 days rest. So your big 4 bullpen pieces are all rested and ready to go. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on a changeup.
Well, Craig Albertaz pushing all the right buttons. He goes against the big righty Nunez. Boy, he punches out Garcia. That's only getting it back. Birds up by 4.
The wave for rare diseases.
Wake up and come watch clock. Get up, this is our show. Get ready, set, let's go. Go, go. Wake up and come watch close. Get up, this is our show. Get ready, set, let's go. Go, go. Wake up and come watch close. Get up, this is our show.
The Orioles belting balls in the Beltway Series. Home runs from Henderson, Mayo, and Cowser. 3 Orioles who have been varying degrees of struggling hitters this year, all with batting averages at or below 200. Some big swings for all 3. Mayo had a 2-run homer in the 2nd. He's had a really good week. Henderson now with a 3-hit game. Homer to start his game and has singled twice since. In fact, he'll go for a double run in the face of Young, and he is safe somehow. And a fired up Henderson slaps his hands together as he stares into the third base dugout. How did he beat that throw? Did he beat it is the question. Blake Butera will say no challenge.
Well, that is 2 hustle doubles today. It was Taveras in the 4th inning, took a single, turned it to a double, and Gunnar Henderson does the same thing. Hard in, and he did get that right hand in there. The tag was just missed by C.J. Abrams. So it looked like the ball beat him.
So a homer, a single, and a double. And you're right, Ben. I think that's less about beating the throw and more about Abrams just being slow on the tag. And Abrams knew it. He didn't call for a review. So Henderson, a triple from the cycle here in the 5th inning. And Pete Alonso down 0-2. Each team has made a pitching change in this game. The Nationals was planned. Richard Lovelady, the opener, went an inning and a third, gave up 2. Miles Michaelis has replaced him and struggled in 2 1/3. He's given up 4 runs and a couple of homers. And Pete takes a breaking ball in the dirt. Brandon Young 3 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned, walked and struck out 3 each. Anthony Nunez escaped the bases loaded jam in the 4th by striking out Luis Garcia. We expect Nunez will return for the 5th. And Alonso chases a slider way off the plate. He does not see Michaelis well typically, just 4 for 21 now against him. And 1 out in the Oriole 5th. So the 2nd straight inning, the Orioles get a leadoff double, and the next batter cannot advance him. In the 4th inning, though, the 3rd batter, Cowser, homered. And here O'Neill lifts the ball to right center field. Routine play for Jacob Young, and out number 2. In 6 days, cheer on the Orioles against the Detroit Tigers and be one of 15,000 fans to receive a Samuel Basayo bobblehead presented by Giant Food. Buy your tickets right now at Orioles.com/tickets. Sammy has the longest hit streak of any Oriole this year, now a 10-gamer with a sharp 2nd inning single. Basayo over his last 20 games coming into today, 391, slugging .652.
Well, let's see how aggressive with first base open and 2 outs that Michaelis wants to be against Samuel Basayo. That first pitch not even close.
The second one was sort of close, and Basayo goes after it. A pitch that was well off the plate. It's dropped by House, who had the third out in his glove.
What happened here? Brady House had to go a while, but he got to this ball easily. And it never got in the glove, man. He kind of hit on the pinky side of that glove.
To the great frustration of the fan in a Navy polo.
Well, a big break for Samuel Basayo. Chase what would have been ball 2.
That is going to be an error against House. And now Basayo swings at strike 2.
Orioles 1 for 5 so far today. Runners in scoring position.
So House's 8th error of the year. Nats, who had played a clean first 2 games, commit their first error of the series. And it's 2-2 for Basayo now. Washington, worst fielding percentage in baseball, 24th in total fielding run value, which measures your range, your arm, catchers per baseball savant. They are a very poor defensive team.
And the most errors in baseball, and it's not even close. The Rays have the second most.
Strike 3 called. A challenge coming from Basayo.
The pitch is called the strike. Batter's challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile, and the Orioles' first challenge of the day. Basayo is right.
The pitch is the ball. Baltimore has 2 challenges remaining.
And he has used a couple of his 9 lives in this sequence. The error kept the at-bat alive, and now the challenge does, as he overrules Brennan Miller. Or the computers did. 3-2 for Sammy with Gunnar at second. And Basayo hits a ground ball, foul up the line. He'll do it again on 3-2. It's a really good challenge by Basayo. And an at-bat where Miles Michaelis has had to throw a lot of extra pitches due to the error on Brady House. Now a couple of extra pitches after the flipped strike 3 call. Here's his 7th of the sequence. And it's fouled away again. He certainly has gone right after him, Ben, with the base open. And Basayo's seen a little bit of everything Michaelis has to offer. And what'll it be on 3-2? It's a slider and it's popped up. This should be the end of the at-bat. Should be the end of the inning. And Abrams is there to make the catch. So a leadoff double and nothing more. The Orioles' first scoreless inning of the game. Join us at the Truist Club this season at Oriole Park, the newest private all-inclusive experience, providing a year-round platform to host clients, reward teams, and stand out in a crowded market. No planning, no logistics, no stress. Just show up. Learn more at Orioles.com/Truist Club. There's the view from Nationals Park. High atop the right field seats, where the Orioles lead at 6-2 in this Sunday day game finale. Anthony Nunez got the final out of the 4th inning, escaping a bases loaded jam by striking out Luis Garcia Jr.
Well, it's never easy when you inherited a bases loaded jam.
Something about the Oriole bullpen this year, though. Obviously they've had their struggles. 4 blow-up innings we detailed yesterday, but they are the second best team in baseball stranding inherited runners. The Oriole bullpen has inherited 58 runners and only 10 have scored. That's a 17% inherited runners scored rate. Only the Seattle Mariners across all of the major leagues have a lower rate. Nunez is 2-1 to Brady House. That ball is grounded over to Jeremiah Jackson. Spins and throws it out.
Well, Jeremiah Jackson looks so comfortable, doesn't he, at second base? He didn't look comfortable in third to me last year. Matter of fact, he looked more comfortable in right field to me last year than what he did at third base. But second base seems to be where he's the most confident. That's not an easy play, but that was nice and easy and a perfect throw over to the polar bear.
It's his 38th start of the year at second base. He has held that position down after Blaze Alexander started on opening day. Jeremiah has started 38 of the Orioles' 47 games at second base. Now his time in that role may be coming to an end soon, with Jackson Holliday hitting a big home run on rehab yesterday. Jackson had 2 plate appearances today for Norfolk and was removed from the game. We're told that was a planned removal. And Jackson today had a 105-mile-per-hour triple off the wall, 400-foot triple against AAA Charlotte. Swing and a miss, changeup to C.J. Abrams.
That is a nasty changeup right there. That's how he got the strikeout against Garcia with the bases loaded there in the 4th inning, and another perfect thrown changeup. A lot of action. Watch where this ball starts. I mean, it's a strikeout in the hand. It almost tumbles like a split finger fastball, and it has the same kind of action.
Struck out 2 out of 3. Dalen Lyle takes a zippy heater for strike. It feels, Ben, obviously we don't know, but it feels like Jackson Holliday's as close as he's been all year now to returning to the big leagues.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how many reps do they want to get him at third base. Because what this is going to boil down to, in my opinion, is who is hitting better out of Kobe Mayo and Jeremiah Jackson. Holiday's going to be in the lineup. And if Holliday gets in the lineup and Jeremiah Jackson swinging it well, you're probably going to see Holliday over at third base. Jeremiah stays at second. Now, if Kobe starts to outperform Jeremiah Jackson, obviously it's an easy decision. Kobe stays at third. Jeremiah Jackson plugs in. Or, I'm sorry, Jackson Holliday plugs in at second base. But, boy, is it nice to have options.
Jackson's out 30 plate appearances, by the way, since his return to a rehab stint, this being his 3rd rehab stint, working his way back from a fractured hamate bone in early February. 1-2. Spikes a cutter to Lyle. Eston Kjerstad 2 for 3, also on a rehab assignment down there with an RBI.
How many at bats does Kjerstad have?
He has
Tyler Wells starting to get heated. Oriole bullpen.
24 at bats.
Okay. And these are his first of the year, correct?
Yes.
Since he hurt himself in
Yes.
spring training.
And all 24 at bats, 24 plate appearances for Kjerstad, who's 5 for 24. Lyle with a ground out and a ground ball single. Nunez looking for a 1-2-3 5th inning. He's got it.
How about top shelf heat right there by Anthony Nunez. 97. Dalen Lyle, if you waving at me, howdy.
Stream Massive Plus today on iOS and Android mobile devices, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. And don't miss a pitch with a Massive Plus monthly subscription available for only $19.99 a month. Go to MassiveSports.com. Orioles leading the Nats 6-2. They scored in 4 of the 5 innings. There's a line drive foul by Leody Taveras, looking for his 2nd hit off of Miles Michaelis. Not a great relief outing for Michaelis. Richard Lovelady started, an inning and a third, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and a strikeout. Michaelis, the follower in long relief, 2 2/3, 4 hits, 4 earned, a walk and a strikeout. The free agent has signed a 1-year deal with the Nats, just over $2 million. 7th round pick of the Padres, way back in 2009, out of Division II Nova Southeastern. Michaelis bounces a 2-seamer.
Michaelis had some good years over in Japan. Spent 3 years over there, won 31 games, and boy, the ERA was outstanding, 2.18.
Breaking ball inside to Taveras. Do you know about Miles Michaelis's nickname? The Lizard King.
The Lizard King.
Yeah.
Now, where does that come from?
You're not aware from this where this story? This sounds like something you might do. Michaelis was apparently dared to eat a lizard when he was pitching in the Arizona Fall League in 2011.
Like when you eat a goldfish alive, you just grab the lizard and threw it down.
His teammates dared him to eat a live lizard.
There you go.
And they said, if you do it, we pay your Arizona Fall League dues for a month. So he said, I thought a couple $100. This is a steal for one quick little lizard. Fouled away off the mask of Ruiz. K-Bear wipes his face before another 3-2. Apparently Michaelis doused the lizard with Mountain Dew.
That probably made it taste better. That's a different kind of Baja Blast right there, isn't it?
It's a very uncomfortable Baja Blast. There's video of it too, if you want to see a man eat a live lizard. It's like some kind of fear factor.
Fear factor or Naked and Afraid. I feel like those folks just eat whatever they can get a lip on that show. They're out there starving.
I've never watched that show. I've seen 100 commercials for it. But
they're eating whatever they can.
Sense. Yeah. 3-2 carved out of play. What do you think you would do better on, Fear Factor or Naked and Afraid?
I've never seen Fear Factor. I'm familiar with Naked and Afraid. But what's Fear Factor? Same thing?
Yeah, you do crazy stuff like eat
bad,
animals and skydive.
well, how bad do you want to win? You know, win the show, I guess, is what it boils down to. What are you willing to do?
Popped up by Leone. Abrams is there. And that's a leadoff out for the Lizard King. Now, have you ever eaten a lizard? Not a live lizard. Have you ever eaten lizard?
No.
Because you've eaten gator. And you've eaten, I'm sure, all kinds of different
I've eaten a lot of.
animals.
I've tried a lot of different things, but never a lizard.
Never a lizard. Have you ever been offered a lizard?
No. I mean, we used to catch them as kids all the time, and you know, pop them in the mouth, and they open their mouth, and you stick them on your earlobe, and you walk around like earrings with two lizards, one on each ear. I think everybody's, well, most people have done that.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, everybody, definitely. That's something we've all done, a shared experience.
But I've never eaten one.
Do you think that's something that I've done? You say everybody's done it, like it's a casual thing.
I guess everybody where I'm from has done it.
Kobe Mayo into left field. Lyle is there, route number 2. Let's go to Melanie Newman. Mel, you ever eaten a lizard?
I've eaten a lot of gator. I've never eaten a lizard. I've never worn them as accessories.
All right. I was supposed to go to you for a Colton Cowser hit, but I had to ask you if you've ever eaten a lizard.
That's fair. So Colton Cowser, guys, has a new approach at the plate, and to the outside, it's called a leg kick, but to hitting coach Brady North, it's called freedom to risk. They feel like adding that kick allows him to be a little more of the athlete that he is out in front, and because he's thinking about that new kick, he's going to stop overthinking everything else that has kind of been plaguing him as of late. Now, I asked Colton Cowser about this in particular, and he said that leg kick actually creates more stability for him. He felt that he was moving a little too quickly through that stance, and now he's able to keep his hips and his shoulders square longer and stay true to playing.
Well, he's certainly been doing a lot of work now before games, and he has not been playing much, so it's been tough for Colton to square that up in games, but the Orioles are hoping that with some of the time off he's gotten, he's been able to tighten out that swing a little bit.
Yeah. It's about balance for Colton, and if you've watched Colton and his struggles the last year and a half, 2 years, it's been because the body gets out in front. Colton has a gift like Mayo has a gift, and that gift is he has elite hand speed. And when he finally realizes that, and it's going to take him some time. He's working on some things right now. It's hard to get a fastball by. But what they do get him out with a lot is obviously the off-speed stuff, because he tends to drift a little bit. He gets his weight going towards the pitcher. And maybe this new leg kick's going to allow him to kind of firm up and be more balanced at home plate.
Two. Down and in with a slider, and Cowser runs it full against Michaelis, who has retired 5 in a row since Gunnar Henderson doubled to lead off the 5th. 7 hits for the Orioles today, but 3 home runs. Here's a 3-2 to Colton. That is an inside corner, strike 3.
Best pitch in baseball right there. If you can front door that 2-seam fastball, it's a ball out of the hand, and boy, it just creeps right back on. I don't care who's standing in the box. You're not going to hit that one.
Especially not when it's not in the strike zone. Good a challenged.
Of it today for your classroom or family.
Tyler Wells on for the Orioles in the 6th. Anthony Nunez a perfect inning in the 3rd, and Wells takes over in a 6-2 game.
And this pitching change brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Get a 15-minute oil change plus over 15 courtesy services with no appointment. Get more in a Jiffy. There is Tyler Wells making his 16th appearance of the year. He's been good as of late. He's only allowed 1 run in his last 8 appearances after giving up runs in each of his first 3 appearances of the year, but he has settled in nicely since then. Opponent's batting average .264 off the right-hander, Wells.
His 2nd appearance. It's coming back from Norfolk 5 days ago. Wells to Jacob Young up and away. Before we get too deep into Tyler Wells, Ben, I think it's worth giving Anthony Nunez an extra hand. That was a big-time 4 outs he got.
Yeah, I mean, inherited a bases-loaded 2-out situation, comes up with a big strikeout and just mows them down there in the 5th inning.
Oh, that looked like it got Samuel Basayo's shoulder.
Oh, you want to be a catcher, huh? There's not one catcher in baseball that doesn't have multiple bruises on him.
And then it hit the face mask of Brennan Miller. A double whammy.
Off the face mask and then right off. At least it got the pad of the chest protector anyway.
You'd rather eat a lizard, going naked and afraid, or be a big catcher?
Well, you're probably going to make more money as a big league catcher.
How much money you make going naked and afraid? I don't know. Maybe it's a big payday. Maybe that's why people do it.
Are you going to make the big league minimum? What is it, 700 and something thousand?
I don't know. Cable's kind of a tough place. 2-1. Swing and a foul ball. 2-2. Young has homered and walked today.
Tyler Wells typically really good command. Fastball's going to be in that 93, maybe push up to 95. The key for Tyler Wells is a slider and that changeup. When he gets that changeup going, he can really handle the left-handed hitters.
Here's a 2-2 to lead off the Nationals' 6th.
Ball went one way, the bat the other. Hanging slider just slips right out of the hand of Jacob Young.
That really needed a sound effect. Young has the appropriate amount of pie tar on there now for a 6th pitch leading off the 6th. Do it again. Tyler Wells had a crazy start to the week. He had been optioned to Norfolk because the Orioles had a bullpen squeeze. They needed a 6th starter after a doubleheader. Sunday, the Yankees with Trey Gibson. So Wells took a couple of days. Orioles let him report to Norfolk after a few days. You have 72 hours to report. Young punches a fly ball into shallow center here. Jeremiah Jackson will make the catch. Tyler did not pitch for about a week after his last big league outing. He had the most innings of anybody in the bullpen then, so the Orioles and Wells treated it as a little bit of a deload. He pitched for the Tides, and then Norfolk had a scheduled off day on Monday. In minor leagues now, you have an off day on Monday, then you play 6 days straight, then you have another off day on Monday. Here's Jose Tena with 1 out. So Tyler was able to take the off day back home in Baltimore and then was flying down to meet the team on the off day Monday. Tides were going to start a series in Charlotte on Tuesday, where they're playing today. And he said he was about 20 minutes into the flight on Monday when he found out he was going to have to head right back to Baltimore because he was being recalled with Grant Wolfram injured. So he landed in Charlotte, spent the night in Charlotte, then got on a very early morning flight out of Charlotte back to Baltimore, and he ended up pitching in that game.
Yep.
The Oriole win, or the Oriole loss, should say, to the Yankees on Tuesday.
My wife was actually on that flight from Charlotte going into Baltimore and said there was a big guy at the baggage claim. He had an Oriole bag and he had an Oriole tag too. I was like, well, who was it? And she goes, I don't know. I just know he was a big guy. Well, later we'd find out. Yeah, a pretty big guy. 6'8", 260.
You never know where we're going to get tipped off, you know. Mickey McDonald, advanced scouting.
Advanced scouting, yeah.
And Tyler said he was supposed to throw that day for Norfolk anyway, so it worked out. He just got to throw in the big leagues. Here's a little cue shot off the bat of 10 at a short. Nice play by Henderson, and the Oriole bullpen has got 6 up, 6 down.
Oriole bullpen had been on a roll until yesterday, and I mean a big-time roll. Going into yesterday, the Oriole bullpen had only allowed 3 runs in 26 innings of work. Now, that changed yesterday, obviously, but this bullpen has been pretty good as of late. You take yesterday out of the mix.
Here's Keibert Ruiz, double and a sac fly. Ruiz takes a fastball right in there for strike 1.
What I love about T. Wells, man, he just pounds the zone. He gets after guys.
12 pitches, 9 strikes today, or now 13 pitches, 10 strikes for Wells.
See if he can get that changeup going. That's what he needs against the lefties.
Goes in with a cutter. Instead, it's 0-2.
I like that pitch for him, though. To see now he can throw the changeup out of the same window. Instead of it going right to left like the cutter on the outer part of the plate, it'll go the opposite way.
In search of a 1-2-3 6th inning. Ruiz has crushed the Orioles in the last 2 games. Wells gets him swinging here. A 1-2-3 6th inning, and the Oriole bullpen has gone 7 up, 7 down.
Home Depot and Echo dealers.
Well, Gunnar Henderson will bat this inning, a triple from the cycle. Remember this game 3 years ago in Oakland? The Oakland A's, that used to be a baseball team. Henderson tripled, homered, doubled in the game. And he was a single shy of the cycle, August of 2023. This ball kicks off the wall. Henderson's thinking double the whole way, and the Oriole bench was frustrated.
They're like, what are you doing? Why didn't you stop it first? He goes, oh, well.
You know what's more impressive than a cycle? 4 extra base hits in 1 game, but we're on cycle alert here. Henderson, who does have 23 career triples, is due up 3rd in the inning against Miles Michaelis.
We've had 3 chances for cycles in this series, hadn't we?
Ruiz yesterday.
Yeah. And in day 1, I think it was Lau, wasn't it? He had a chance for a cycle.
Yes, you're right. They both ended up a triple shy. Jeremiah Jackson is not on cycle watch, but he is on first base. He's got his first hit of the game with a leadoff hit against Miles Michaelis. Orioles lead at 6-2 in the 7th, and Jackson has the 8th Oriole hit.
Good start for the Orioles here in the top of the 7th. They need to keep adding on. Best case scenario here is where the Orioles don't have to use all their leverage relievers is maybe score 3 or 4 more runs. And maybe the Orioles could finish with somebody like Cameron Foster and save some bullets in the bullpen.
Taylor Ward takes a strike. Ward has walked in the game and 3 plate appearances. As per usual, seen a lot of pitches. Full count walk in the 3rd, 5-pitch strikeout in the 4th. 80th pitch for Michaelis in relief. He's got 4 2/3 and allowed 4 runs. Michaelis typically a big ground ball pitcher. Not really been the case today. You look over his 4 2/3 innings. Miles Michaelis only has 2 outs on the ground. He's in the 91st percentile of baseball in ground ball rate. That is always his game. But he's given up 2 home runs today. He's many home runs allowed as ground ball outs recorded.
Plenty of sinking fastballs, likes that slider, which really has been his best pitch throughout the year.
His 2-2 for Taylor Ward is a two-seamer called strike 3. Well, that maybe did just nick the zone.
That's just a perfect two-seamer. He's been able to front door it to the lefties, back door it to the righties.
So 4 strikeouts for Michaelis. And here's Henderson. Home run, single, double, a steal, a run scored, and an RBI, and a good all-around game. Ball 1 in the dirt. It's Gunner's 3rd 3-hit game of the year. His 10 multi-hit games have tied Pete Alonso and Taylor Ward for the team lead. Breaking out of a really slow first 2 weeks in the month of May. Came into the series in an 0 for 13. Flight out twice Friday, was 0 for 15. Since then, he is 5 for 9 with a walk, a double, a homer, and a couple of RBIs.
But I love where he's hitting the ball today, too. Lefty on lefty, he pulled it for a home run, but the other 2 base hits pretty much been right back up the middle. And that's what they've been working with Gunner on. He's trying to stay gap to gap. Don't think about getting out in front of the ball and trying to pull the ball all the time. Think about left center field to right center field.
Jackson leading out first. Henderson with a pop up behind second. Abrams retreats. And for the first time today, Gunnar Henderson makes it out. So Jackson has been holding after a leadoff single. In the last 4 innings, the Orioles are only 1 for 9 with runners on base. The one, though, was the Cowser home run. Here's Pete, who had a sac fly in the 3rd. Nationals have not had anybody warming up since Michaelis came into the game. His pitch counts at 87. Trying to save their bullpen, which has been used a lot this year. No one warming in the Oriole bullpen either, which means Tyler Wells will come back out for the 7th. Wells threw 15 pitches in the 6th.
Well, the good news is Anthony Nunez only threw, what, 17 pitches, so he could very well be available for tomorrow, even though he went more than 1 inning.
Orioles will need all hands on deck at Tampa Bay. Raise the best record in the American League. They won today 6-3 over Miami. Tampa Bay now 30 and 15.
What, first team in the American League to 30 wins?
Alonso to right field. That ball in the corner. Wood at the wall, watching it turn foul.
Well, a tough place to play too in Tampa Bay. Rays have the best home record in baseball.
Yesterday, Miami scored 8 runs in the 10th, and that snapped what was an 11-game home win streak. Tampa Bay back at it today. The Rays 12-1 in their last 13 under the roof at Tropicana Field. Tomorrow will be Trevor Rogers against Shane McClanahan.
McClanahan is finally back for the Rays. And pitching like Shane McClanahan.
He's pitching to a 2.27 ERA. By the way, do you see who the Game 2 starter is for Tampa Bay? Griffin Jackson. The Rays are starting to work into the starting rotation. One-time reliever with the Twins. Alonso got a hanging breaking ball and powered it foul. It stays 2-2. Have to wait a moment here. That ball kicked past the ball attendant down the line.
Well, she kicked it, but she missed it. It was not a kick save.
But she didn't touch it, so it's not an error.
if you say so.
That's just the official score rule. So that'll play by Pete again. Let's try to attack him with high fastballs. Shane McClanahan, by the way, will come into tomorrow on a 4-start scoreless streak. Pretty amazing for a guy who missed the last couple of years in full. Here's his 7th pitch, 93rd game for Michaelis. There goes Jackson, and it's a ground ball sucked up by House at third. Another scoreless inning for Michaelis. 6-2 at the stretch. It's the inverse of your typical Orioles game. No scoring in the 5th, 6th, and 7th, but they got the bats going early today. 3 home runs for the Orioles. Gunnar Henderson, Kobe Mayo, and Colton Cowser's first of the year. All of them smoked, all of them from guys who really could have used a home run. Mayo continues a great week, and Henderson's had a good series. For Colton Cowser, Ben, that is a swing that's got to feel like a huge sigh of relief.
No doubt. I mean, sometimes the first one can be the hardest one for him. So you could see him take off if he gets consistent at bats. But good to see some production down the bottom part of that lineup. You talk about 7, 8, 9 hitters have come through big for the Orioles. And we talked about early and often before the game started. Well, it was for the Orioles. I mean, 6 runs in the first 4 innings is just what they needed. Brandon Young wanted to work a little bit longer than what he did, but Greg Alvarez had to go to the bullpen. It's worked out well for the Orioles so far.
And they are looking to get a win before flying down to Tampa. Upcoming schedule brought to you by Science and Kirk. Injured in an accident? Call Science and Kirk or visit youhavealawyer.com. Remember, You Have a Lawyer, 3-game series with the American League Best Rays begins tomorrow night at 6:30. Rogers McClanahan, the pitching matchup. There's work to do here. 6-2 as Tyler Wells begins his 2nd inning of relief against Nasim Nunez. Nunez tries to bunt. He pops it up. It lands fair, and he will beat out the throw, which kicks away. And even down 4 runs, Nasim Nunez is as much of a threat to steal as anybody.
Yeah, and he uses his speed here to beat this one out.
Now, is he going to be called out here? Nasim Nunez is apparently being called out, maybe for being in the baseline.
Yeah, it looked like to me he turned towards the infield, because that's obviously what you want to do. But if you get too far onto the grass, they can call you out. See where he's running? Where's he running? Let's see if we can get a look at him. Yeah, see where he is? I mean, he is way, because he knew where the ball was. Samuel Basayo, watch Basayo. He goes out. He didn't recognize where the ball was, but watch him try to see that one more step that way. He's trying to create a throwing line. But Nunez ran well onto the grass there.
So that is scored unassisted to the catcher on a bunt ground out. It's not quite Trey Turner of the 2019 World Series, but it is batter's interference. And Nunez out on the first pitch bunt try. Now the Orioles may have caught a bit of a break, because I think Nunez was going to beat that out if he had just taken a normal straight line path. And Wells gets the leadoff man. Greg Alvarez chirping at Blake Butera, who still hasn't been ejected and didn't come very close there. Albie's having a lot more fun in the dugout today.
Yes.
2-1 to James Wood, who struck out, walked, and reached on an infield single. Wood now 15 for 37 against the Orioles' career in 10 games. It's a .405 average, 5 extra base hits, and that average just went up. He is the first batter to reach since James Wood back in the 4th, snaps the streak of 8 straight Nats retired.
That dude can hit, man. For a big, tall, long guy that he is, look how quiet he is at home plate, man. He just kind of gets his foot down. Knows where the barrel is.
I remember doing a national spring training game. It was 3 years ago now. James Wood was still a year away from his big league debut. He was partly the talk of camp that year. He had been traded in the Juan Soto deal, and how can you miss him? He stands at 6'6", 234. And people were raving about what kind of an athlete he is, what kind of skills he had, but the question was, is there going to be too much swing and miss? Like, how's he going to adjust to big league pitching? Scouts and folks around the Nats knew he had the power. Well, he struck out 221 times last year. That led the league. So there is a lot of swing and miss. But he also hit 31 homers and had an 825 OPS. And they like less swing and miss. He's leading the majors in strikeouts again. But his approach is really advanced.
Yeah, that number will go down. I mean, you forget he's only 23 years old. I mean, you can dream on this kid and what he's going to look like Samuel Messiah when he gets to be, say, 26, 27 years old. And he gets a lot of big league at-bats under his belt.
Garcia lines one to left, and Cowser got a really good jump, so he makes the catch. Takes away a hit from Garcia and gets Wells the second out of the inning. Only the third start in left for Colton Cowser this year, but he played the angle correctly.
Yeah, it don't matter where you put Colton Cowser in the outfield. To me, he's pretty much an average big league center fielder, but you put him in on one of the corner spots, and he is above average. He read this one perfectly, comes and gets.
And there are two away for Brady House as Wells looks to complete two scoreless innings. This outing would probably take Tyler out of the running for tomorrow other than an emergency situation, but covered 2 innings today after a short start. That'd be a huge boost. House with a pop-up. Alonso over by the sidewall, and he will not make the play, which rattled a chair maybe.
Something flew out of the chair.
Down with a bang.
Oh, it's a bunch of chips or something, or snacks.
Snack box.
The snack box exploded.
Wow.
That was like Skittles going everywhere. That's your favorite, Skittles.
I had Skittles for the first time in like 6 years today. That's not my favorite. They just had them in the press dining area.
So you ate. I mean, look, you had a choice of like 10 different things. And you went for the Skittles.
I had about 13 Skittles.
That's very unlucky, but it's worked out.
Whose snack box is this down here? Chips?
Normally, if Mel was on that side, I would say it was Mel's,
maybe it's Alexa Dat, the Nats reporter. I don't know. Spiked by Wells. A weird finish on that cutter. It's 2-2. Why is there a snack box sitting down there with nobody there? No snack box up here. That's the real question. I've got my apple that I've been bringing, but that's it. I have nothing for you unless you want to split the apple with me. You want a lady and tramp the apple?
Sure. Tastes like a lizard.
A cue shot to the right side. That's a base hit for House. And Wood will go to third. O'Neill loads up for the throw to third. It's not in time as House holds at first. So the Nats put runners on the corners here on the first hit of the game for Brady House, and it'll bring the dangerous C.J. Abrams to the plate.
It's going to go unnoticed, but you know the fundamentals have gotten better on defense. Tyler O'Neill threw a line drive in. Gunnar Henderson acted like he was going to catch this ball, so was able to hold Brady House at first base. There were some times early in the year when maybe the outfield throw would come really high, and the runner would be at second and third now versus first and third.
It'll certainly go notice if Abrams singles. And he hacks the first one out of play. He has been in absolute swing mode today. He's now seen 8 pitches. They've all been strikes. Here's an 0-1 from Tyler Wells. Abrams swings again at a cutter.
Elevated cutter, too. I don't know if that was by design or not. Yanier Cano started to get heated up in that Oriole bullpen.
He took the first pitch in the 5th inning, Abrams. He's swung at the other 8 pitches he's seen. So 9 pitches, 8 swings. And he swings again, and he grounds it off the glove of Pete, who knocks it all the way toward third. That ball pinballed from corner to corner, and Abrams reaches. Wood scores, and the Nats make it 6-3. They'll bring the tie run to the plate.
But a Polo Bear, like a lot of the infielders, working on pushing through the ball. Boy, this ball, he pushed through this one pretty firm here. See him trying to go for it. It hits right in the heel of the glove, and all the way across the infield it goes. Watch this. Backhand side, boy, he pushes through it and just shoves it back towards the pitcher's mound.
I'm not sure I've ever seen an infield single from first to third. It's going to be an RBI for Abrams, his second of the game, and his team leading 38th, a player who's third in the National League in RBIs. So Drew Fretch is out, and all of a sudden Dalen Lyle, who's hit 4 home runs in the last 5 games, represents the tying run. This thing's getting scary.
Lyle a single today, 1 for 3, 7 homers on the year.
This is where you'd love to have a lefty and Grant Wolfram to match up. The lefties are Enns and Aiken, the latter of whom gave up 6 yesterday. Both pitched yesterday. So 2 on and 2 out. The pitch from Wells. Fastball is too tall. Probably the last batter for Tyler. You figure Cano would come in to face right-handed Jacob Young. Lyle with a base hit today and a run scored in the 4th. Up high, and Basayo pumps a throw to second. Nobody covering house.
Well, this is getting very interesting now.
Brad Lord up in the Washington bullpen. 2-0 for Lyle. 2 out tying run in the 7th.
Careful here.
High fly ball, foul, very foul. He really turned on a cutter.
We haven't seen many changeups from Tyler Wells today, have we?
We haven't seen one since Garcia in this inning. That was the second batter of the inning. Lyle very late on that fastball. He looked like he was almost selling out for a changeup.
We talked about Tyler Wells loves the changeup down the way to left-handers.
Dalen Lyle 5 out of 12 in the series. He's driven in 3. A 2-2 pitch with 2 on and 2 out. Fouled away. 95 there from Wells.
Well, if he trusted changeup at all, I mean, both fastballs, those last 2 right on the outside edge. Changeup sets up well for him. But he's not thrown many of them today. Maybe he's not feeling it.
House and Abrams the runners with 2 down. Here's the 6th pitch to Lyle. Struck him out swinging. A high cutter, and Wells strands a pair.
Big time. Big Daddy gets it done. That's get one back, though. Birds up by 3 after 7.
Again, that's habitat.org.
Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Orioles, the official source for your Baltimore Orioles gear.
Nats will turn to their second reliever of the day. Michaelis ends up going 5 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, walked 1 and punched out 4, and he'll give way to Brad Lord, making his 14th appearance of the year. Solid ERA. Opponents hitting .239 off the right-hander, Lord. 4-seam fastball, has a sinking fastball as well. Both of them right in the mid-90s. Slider, changeup, and an occasional sweeper.
Miles Michaelis throws a season high with those 5 2/3 innings. He was not bad. In fact, the last 3 innings he put up 3 straight zeros. By his standards, 5 2/3, 4 runs. When you come in with a 7 ERA, not a bad start. Kept the Nats in the game as they started to chip back from down 6-1. Or not a bad outing. O'Neill off the end of the bat, fading fast into right center, and even Jacob Young is no match for this one, as Tyler plops in a base hit, his first of the game, and the Orioles have the leadoff man on for a 2nd straight inning and for a 6th time in 8 innings today.
And they would love to get that 1 run back too.
Samuel Basallo singled and scored a run in the second. And Basallo swings at a pitch way inside. Lord has thrown 20 innings this year, fourth among major league relievers, more than an inning in 11 of his 13 games this season. Nats will ask him to cover at least the eighth. Basallo goes down to get a breaking ball to second, and it's caught by Nunez. So O'Neill had to scramble back to first. Another low line drive, and Nasim Nunez gloved it.
Basallo just kind of goes down and flicks this one toward Nunez. The ball looked like it was doing some weird stuff, almost like knuckling.
Seasoned tennis professional Samuel Basallo. Leody Taveras shows bunt and yanked it back. You hear that drum line that's been going on for about an inning? What is that?
It was going on well before the game, remember? I don't know where it's coming from, but we heard it.
I thought it was maybe pre-game music. Taveras to first and foul. Just some ambient noise here at DC. Just started again. Two and one for Leody. There they are. There they are. Are they in the park? I don't think so. I think that's outside the front gate. Swing and a miss, 2-2. There's a great music culture historically in DC. Go-Go. Some great punk bands that came out of this city as well. Early jazz scene. And today a drum line right outside the gate. 2-2. Lined out of play by Leody. It's still Cano up in the Oriole bullpen in the eighth. Nats will have Young, Tena, and Ruiz. If there's a pocket for Cano against this very left-handed team, that's probably a righty, lefty, and then a couple of switch hitters, Ruiz and Nunez, that you wouldn't mind turning around. Taveras spoils another one from Brad Lord. And obviously Rico Garcia would be the ninth inning guy today. Rico is on 5 days of rest. Seventh pitch, Lord to Leody. Brad Lord, an 18th round pick 4 years ago out of the University of South Florida. 19 starts, 29 relief outings as a rookie last year. Pitched to a .434 ERA. Second year has been exclusively a reliever. He'll step off with a pitch clock about to expire. First career strikeout for Brad Lord last year, Shohei Ohtani. And struck him out later in that game.
Won't forget that one. Oh.
A sweeper that had a honing missile for Taveras' foot. Leody is painfully aboard for the second time today and the fifth time in this series. And the Orioles have 2 on with 1 out as Taveras will jog down to first.
Front foot. All right, Kobe Mayo. See if he can stay hot. Orioles 1 for 6 so far today. Runners in scoring position. They were a combined 3 for 14 the first 2 games of this series with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, the dirt.
Boy, that's a nice pick, isn't it?
Keibert Ruiz just saved a 23rd wild pitch for the Nats.
Don't rub it. Don't ever rub it.
Why not rub it?
Just don't rub it. Don't let them know it hurts. The Iron Man would have never rubbed it. Just get on down the line.
Well, those are the standards. Mayo fouled away. You also said that Cal would get hit by a pitch, have a purple bruise, and the next day you go to the clubhouse and it will be gone.
Yeah, I think he only bruised deep on the inside, never on the outside. Junior was built different.
Mayo late on two-seamer, 1-2. Kobe's two-run homer in the second came at the end of a 9-pitch battle with Miles Michaelis. 6 RBIs, 3 extra base hits in the last 6 for Kobe. Nice little run here as he cues this out of play.
Well, that's where you better pitch Kobe Mayo right now, because he has shown that he is covering some balls on the inside part. Middle and inner third, it's danger zone if you throw it there.
Lord went 8 pitches deep against Taveras, hit him. O'Neill dropped in a single. Basayo a knuckling line out. Taveras hit by a pitch, and Mayo trying to add on here with a 1-2 count. Outside 96. Cowser with his first home run of the year, fresh in his mind, in the on deck circle. Here's a 6-pitch to Kobe. Good take. So Mayo, a couple of long at bats today. Will have seen 21 pitches by the next one here. Brad Lord with a 3-2. Tipped foul, got a piece of Ruiz again. Catchers have been bruised and battered this afternoon.
Where does this one get him? Everywhere. The answer to that is it got him like off the bat and hit him 3 times before it hit the dirt.
Where didn't it get him would be an easier question to answer, wouldn't it?
How many times did that one ball get him?
This will be the 22nd pitch Mayo sees today, most he's seen in any game this year. And he backs up on this slider and knocks it foul. Saw this yesterday with Kobe. Had a 7-pitch walk, had an 8-pitch fly out. He's had some really deep counts and good battles this series.
The at-bats are so much better.
I know it's taken a while to fully catch up. The numbers have gone way up in the past week. Pitch number 9. Two-seamer just honing in on him. Kobe's able to swat that out of play too.
You see how fast his hands are? Man, I mean, that ball at 95 and working inside well off the plate, and yet he gets the barrel to it. And look out, Buck Britton.
Yeah, look out, Scott Norton on our camera. Scott really blending in today. I see Scott's decided to go with the creamsicle shade on his pullover.
But if he can get to that pitch, KB, at 95 off the plate, there's no way he can stay on the slider on the outside part of the plate.
Well, let's see if Brad
I don't know if Lord
agrees with
can
you.
get it there or not.
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
Reading bats.
That's what you do. And as a pitcher, you look at that, and as a catcher, you go, man, that ball's a foot off the inside corner at 95, and you got the barrel to it. Well, if you're going to do that, there is no way you can cover the breaking ball on the outside part of the plate.
Strike to ball slider ends a 10-pitch sequence. Simon Matthews comes out for a visit. I mean, this game has stagnated, it feels like, since the 4th inning, but it's still only a 3-run game. Orioles could really use some insurance. And the last runs were brought in by Colton Cowser.
Boy, how pretty was that, man? Balanced, leaned back on it, wasn't drifting forward, and just peppered it straight away right field. First long ball of the year for the Milkman.
Finally into a sea of birds in the dugout. Colton's first home run in 111 plate appearances back to last September the 23rd against Tampa Bay. He doesn't need another home run now, but a base hit of any kind would give the Orioles some extra breathing room. Yennier Cano is still in the bullpen. He's thrown about 100 pitches in the bullpen, it feels like, at this point. Lord backdoors a sweeper for strike 1. The home run was Cowser's first hit off a breaking ball this season, and Brad Lord, we've seen, is going to give you some breaking balls. Sliders and sweepers both.
Out of a little bit different arm slot, too.
Here's the backup sweeper, and it's 1-1. Most thrown pitch, the 4-seamer for Brad. That pitch has been hit pretty well this year, though. Lefties have struggled on the breaking balls, hit the fastballs, unsurprisingly. They've hit the changeup pretty well, too. And there is a slider. Cowser was in a 2-for-22 skid, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts since April 30th. His first extra base hit in the month. O'Neill and Taveras, the runners, with 2 down. Breaking ball is up. It's challenged by Keibert Ruiz.
The pitch was called the ball. Catch is challenging.
Did that sneak back into the ABS strike zone?
I don't know if this came all the way back or not.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
The pitch is strike. Washington has 2 challenges remaining.
I guess it didn't come all the way back, but it came enough of the way back.
Perfectly back for the pitcher.
That's enormous because it flips the count from 3-1 to 2-2. 4 consecutive sliders or sweepers to Colton Cowser. And Lord's 27th pitch of the inning coming up. And it's another breaking ball to strike him out. Into and out of trouble for Lord. This remains a 3-run game. Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. That right there, that is one of the racing presidents. Abraham Lincoln. I don't know how he did in the racing presidents today.
I didn't see it today.
Beautiful, beautiful Lincoln Memorial, which is a must-see if you're in D.C. 6-3 game. It's going to be Yennier Cano, who's had a wonderful year to pitch the 8th.
Yeah, making his 21st appearance of the year. That leads that Oriole bullpen. Boy, has he been good. 1.13 ERA. Look at the whip. .56, and hitting just 130 off the right-hander, Cano.
Well, he came in to face right and left switch. He's not going to face a right-handed batter because Jorby Bibas will pinch hit for Jacob Young, a left-handed hitter. Bibas has gone 0 for 3 in the series, 2 walks, and he swings at the first pitch and he launches it to deep center field, but not deep enough. Leody Taveras right in front of the wall, flags it down.
Gave it a good ride.
Nats have only had the leadoff man on twice today, and by a few feet that remains the same.
Yennier Cano, sinking fastball leads the way. That split finger fastball, little slider, and an occasional 4-seamer, but he loves that 2-seamer. Boy, opponent's hitting 0.77 off that pitch so far this year. There it is right there. A lot of movement, high velocity.
Jose Tena has walked in 3 plate appearances. Wow. Challenge here. Did Basayo get it off in time?
The pitch is called the ball. Catch your challenger.
Yes, he did. Remember a couple of weeks ago against the A's, he did not or he looked like he got a challenge off in time. Carlos Torres ruled he didn't, and Basayo got the challenge off in time and got the call right. Strike 2. It was 1 week ago when Carlos Torres did not grant a challenge to Shea Langeliers or Samuel Basayo, though both looked to have done it in time. That's down and away for ball 1. Tyler Wells today pitched the 6th and 7th, 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and he struck out 2. 38 pitches, 28 strikes. Swing and a miss, splitter. Cano with a strikeout. The Orioles' 9th.
Dirty. Late action. There's the grip. You see, he doesn't have his fingers spread out. It's not a real forkball. It's more of just a splitter because the velocity's too high. The more you tuck it back in your fingers, the more it slows down. He's just kind of got it just on the tip, and he powers it in there. What you call a power splitter.
Oriole bullpen has struck out 6 now in 4 innings. Blaze Alexander, by the way, took over a 3rd this inning. He's into the game for Kobe Mayo. Keibert Ruiz, double sac fly and a strikeout. If you can get Ruiz, then the Nationals would lead off the 9th either with Nasim Nunez or pinch hitter, which wouldn't be so bad before you get to Wood, Garcia. Paxton Schultz is warming for Washington. He threw the 9th yesterday. Two balls and a strike from Cano. Splitter down and in. Ruiz is typically allergic to walks. He has 1 in 29 games.
Wow. And that sinking fastball's got some movement to it today.
I'll be honest with you, man. I thought that was a splitter at first.
It just looks like a wiffle ball going in there, man. Rico Garcia starting to get heated up in that Oriole bullpen.
Here's the 3-2. Wow. Just the 2nd walk of the year for Keibert Ruiz. That means the tying run is now on deck. And it pushes the Nats' best hitters a little closer in the 9th inning if it gets to that. Nunez was out trying to bunt his way on in the 7th, called out for runner interference. By the way, the scoring on that play has been tweaked. It's 2-3. As Basayo threw to Alonso, Alonso gets the put out. Nunez was called out for being inside the line, running to first in fair territory.
Well, this is the guy you want to get right here. Nunez figures out a way to reach right here. Then, of course, the tying run comes to the plate in the way of James Wood.
Two strikes on the 9-man, Nasim Nunez.
Rico Garcia heating up right now, and you just get the feeling that this might be Yennier Cano's last batter. Got to have your best go against their best.
Down and in with a splitter. It's 1-2. Cano on 3 days rest. Has not always been in high leverage spots this year because of the good right-handers in the Oriole bullpen. He is in one today. His 1-2 is down and away. Nunez is a very light hitter, does have a good eye, walks at a good rate. And he's just trying to get on base anyway here. 2-2 pitch has popped up. Alexander, the new 3rd baseman, shielding his eyes from the sun, gives way to Cowser, who makes the catch from left. It's a scoreless 8th for Cano, with Wood left stranded in the on-deck circle.
4PD.info.
Tomorrow at 6, we'll be back at the Trop, repaired and restored and re-roofed this season. The Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays. Those extra pregame gets us started at 6 with Mel. It's presented by Bet365. Orioles looking to fly down there on the backs of a win. They lead 6-3 into the 9th inning as Paxton Schultz takes the Nationals mound.
Schultz making his 13th appearance of the year. Boy, he's been good. Opponents hitting just 15 off of him. The ERA well below big league average. Doesn't walk many batters. Only 4 walks, 18 strikeouts. So better than a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio for the right-hander, Schultz.
Joey Wiemer, new Nationals center fielder after Jorbe Bibas pinch hit for Jacob Young. Now the Orioles haven't scored since the 4th. 1-2-1-2 in the first 4 innings. No add-on runs, but a 3-run lead as Jeremiah Jackson takes ball 1 from Schultz. Brad Lord an inning a hit, struck out 2, hit a batter, stranded a pair. Jackson goes the other way, driven to the gap in right center field, and that ball is off the very bottom of the wall. Jeremiah Jackson cruises into second with a 2-hit game. His second double of the series, and he's now 4 for 11 here in DC.
Oh, good to see Jeremiah Jackson, who really carried the Orioles offensively early in the year. 5th double of the year. Just a backup breaking ball sitting right in the heart of the plate. He puts his nose on this one, inside out swing. Boy, this feels like a must run for the Orioles, just for some insurance. Orioles had a leadoff double in the 5th inning, couldn't get him home.
See if Taylor Ward can at least move him over.
Well, it fits what Taylor Ward likes to do.
Yes.
He's hit the ball to the backside of the field. And that will be his approach right here. Leadoff double, get him over and get him in. Been around baseball since its existence.
In the dirt for Ward, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And of course, Schultz knows that's the pitcher, so it's going to be a lot of off-speed pitching because he wants to get him out in front where he's not able to hit the ball to the backside.
Rico Garcia's taking a seat. Very, very likely he'll pitch the 9th inning. He was warming up in case he was needed in the 8th. Wood Garcia House coming up. With Rico on 5 days rest, the Orioles would probably need to have a huge inning to not throw him in the 9th. Ball and 2 strikes for Schultz. On the way to the DH Ward, inside with a changeup. Ward with the 3rd inning walk, the major league leader. 3rd most times on base in the big leagues, trying to reach for 2nd time today, and he'll take outside with a cutter. Oh hum, a full count for Taylor Ward. His 4th straight at bat that's either going to end in a 2-2 or 3-2 count. Trying to give that guy a little breathing room in the 9th. Ward with a half swing and a full miss. 3K game for Taylor.
Don't see him chase balls outside his zone that much.
Least likely chaser in baseball, in fact. Now Gunnar Henderson has another shot at the cycle, another shot at a 4-hit game, another shot at a 7th Oriole run. Ooh, right in there with a slider. Rico is going to start throwing again. Try to continue this historic run A year where he has allowed one single solitary hit.
It's off a changeup, wasn't it?
Michael Massey home run, yeah, April 21st. .64 batters, 1 faced. Check out this list in the modern era. The fewest hits allowed in the first 19 innings of a season. Rico Garcia, 2026, and Frank Smith, 1910.
There you go.
The middle. It's a 4-hit game for Gunnar Henderson. He drives in his 2nd run. A season-high 4 hits for Henderson, and the Orioles do extend that lead to 7-3.
Well done. And the 3rd base hit right back up the middle. Boy, just lets it travel. Plenty of, and that's been the ball that he's gotten way out in front of KB a lot this year. Is that changeup kind of down and away, just circling. But you could see him sit back, and find the barrel right back up the middle. Gunnar Henderson's driven in 2 today, 24 RBIs, now up to 10 home runs, and that batting average continues to climb.
Kind of day he really needed.
Call the ball, catches challenger.
It's his 5th career 4-hit game, tying a career high for Gunnar. Did it once last year. Wow, that is
confirmed.
not even close.
1 challenge remaining.
Keibert Ruiz was nearly 3 inches off. Pete looking for his first hit. Does have a sac fly. 2 for 11 in the series with a double. I don't think he's going to challenge this one. Been a long warm-up now for Rico. He's going to take his time, cool down, not be a safe situation now. By the way, here's the guy who's on that list with him, Frank Smith. Nickname was the Piano Mover. That was his off-season job. He was a spitballer who had a 1.80 ERA in 365 innings. In the 1909 season.
Didn't have forklifts then.
That's
just had
the
to pick
company.
the piano up.
That's the company bed that Rico Garcia's in. The Piano Mover, Frank Smith, who had his struggles with the White Sox management in the early 1900s and got into it with Charles Comiskey.
Piano Mover.
In fact, there's a wonderful SABR bio, the Society for American Baseball Research, which tells you that conflicts between Smith and manager Fielder Jones led to the Piano Mover deserting the ball club in June of 1908 and returning home to Pittsburgh. There goes Gunnar. Pitch is fouled away on 3-2.
Gunner's been trying to time it up.
Can I get your report from July 1908 when Smith was going to rejoin the team? Here's what the Chicago Tribune reported. Quote, according to the dope, Mr. F. Smith, the prodigal piano mover, is about to burst upon the job once more. He was to have met the team in Cleveland with his mouth wide open for a feat of the justly celebrated Hawks. Exactly the kind of language people will be talking about Rico Garcia with. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. So let's see if Rico can continue his piano-esque historic streak, close down a 7-3 win. Well, it was a short start for Brandon Young today. Craig Albertaz pressed the eject button with the bases loaded in a 6-2 game in the 4th. Anthony Nunez got a big strikeout of Luis Garcia, and Tyler Wells and Yennier Cano picked a lot of big outs since then.
Yep, and now it's time for Rico Garcia. 3-0 in the year with a .47 ERA, 19 innings of work, 1 hit. Opponent's batting average .018. 22 strikeouts, only 7 walks for Rico Garcia. Good four-seam fastball. It's going to average right about 95, 96. Changeup, slider, and a curveball. So a 4-pitch mix for Garcia.
See if this magic carpet ride can continue for Garcia, working on 5 days rest and missing inside to James Wood. Rico did not allow a hit for the first 10 games of the season. In the 11th, Kansas City's Michael Massey homered. He is now not allowed a hit in 8 consecutive games. Wood takes just inside for ball 2. Last 3 outings for Rico, 2 saves. And then against the Yankees 6 days ago, pitched the 8th inning in a 1-run game, got a critical hold against the Yankees, 2-3-4. That's a strike with that fluttering changeup.
That's what he's been able to do. He's been able to pitch backwards whenever he's needed to. Land the all-speed stuff in fastball counts.
The league is 1 for 57 against Garcia. Just unfathomable number. As he dumps in a curveball strike, and James Wood challenges.
Call the strike. Batter challenging.
This would be the Nationals' final challenge if Wood is wrong.
Well, he's wrong.
That call is confirmed. Washington has no challenges remaining.
I mean, that's how you climb back in the count. 2-0 count. You get a change up, make it 2-1, and then a breaking ball to get right back in at 2-2. If you're James Wood, you have no idea what's coming.
Swing and a miss, a curveball. Rico knocks off Wood to kick off the 9th.
That's just dirty. 3 different off-speed pitches being behind in the count when it started to. And that is as good as it gets for a curveball. Down in and just underneath the bat. And a big first out in the 9th inning.
Garcia fells the Nationals' leadoff redwood tree and will face Luis Garcia Jr. Zips in a changeup to start him. You just don't see pitches move like that.
It's just hard to game plan against Rico Garcia right now because he's able to land just about any pitch whenever he wants to. And so there's no pattern to what he's doing. You always got to respect 95 and 96 because he's got that in his back pocket. But the all-speed stuff has been outstanding.
There is one pattern.
Well, yeah, let's hope that pattern continues too.
Outstanding. By the way, swing and miss rate about 40%. That's up there with the elite of elite in the game. Here's an 0-2. A base hit. A miracle. That is the first hit against Rico Garcia in the field of play this year. The 66th batter he faces, the second hit. It's a double. The first was a homer, so this is the first time anybody has reached base and anything in the field of play against Rico. And it was 3 straight changeups to do it. So here's Brady House. He gets a sharp slider. That's the pitch that Rico actually picked up. He told us a few years ago when he was in the national system. Never came up. Spent the whole year in AAA Rochester. And picked up that slider with Rafael Chavez, who was the pitching coach at the time in 2023. With the Nationals midway through that year and ended up getting released in September. That was 2024, I should say, when Rico was in Rochester the whole year. Got a little bit of time with the Nats in 2023. But just 2 years ago, the whole season with AAA Rochester. Josh Wetzel, who's the voice of the Red Wings, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful broadcaster, is on the call this week, and he said he was really surprised Rico didn't make it up that year. Everybody who knows Rico says the same thing. Such a terrific guy, terrific professional. And Josh said he had a couple of tough outings that year early that ballooned his numbers, but ultimately he was so consistent. Struck out 89 and 61 and 2/3. He felt like he deserved to go up. And now Rico gets his chance. He's 3-2 against his old organization, trying to close out a 7-3 win. Here's a payout pitch to House. Struck him out on that slider.
Boy, it's a hanger, but boy, not expecting slider. You could tell by the way Brady House swung at that first slider that he was not seeing it.
A pitch that Rico developed when he was Brady House's teammate with Rochester in 2024. And House still couldn't get to it, no matter how many times he may have seen it from just down the way at third base. Oriole pitchers have struck out 11 in the game. They're 1 out away from the win. As C.J. Abrams bats. Abrams pops up a four-seamer. First pitch to C.J. was the first ball he's seen in 5 at-bats. A 1-1 from Rico. Challenge. And did he get it off in time? No. Brennan Miller denies the Basayo challenge after a little hesitation. Pitch was a ball, so good thing he didn't challenge. Here's a 2-1 now. Popped up by Abrams. Busted his bat as well. Rico Garcia gives up a hit, but nothing more. He closes a 7-3 win as the Orioles take the final game here in Washington.
Boy, they always needed this win in a bad way, and they got it. And they got out early on offense, man. 6 runs in the first 4 innings. And then they turned it over to the bullpen after that. And boy, Anthony Nunez, Tyler Wells, Cano, and Rico Garcia ends up going, what, 5 innings? 5 1/3, I guess it was. And only allowed that 1 run. They shut down a very, matter of fact, the best offense in baseball.
Gunnar Henderson tied a career high with 4 hits today. His first inning home run gave the Orioles a lead that they would not relinquish. They scored in the first 4 innings, added 1 in the 9th. Nice to see, Ben, all around a pretty complete game played by the Orioles today.
Yeah, clean on defense. And that's always a key for the Orioles. And boy, the relievers were outstanding. They scored runs early. Gunnar Henderson, a 4-hit day. Kobe Mayo had a homer. Colton Cowser hits his first long ball of the year. Orioles pretty good, 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position.
Craig Alvarez's team gets to 21-26. They deny the Nationals a chance at a winning record as Washington falls back to 23-24. More early offense from the Orioles today, inning after inning after inning from the start of the game.
Day, kid. And that one, absolutely no doubt. O's take it 7-3.